What's going on, everybody? Praise the Lord, church. Y'all, what's going on? All right. Good evening, everyone. This is the only live stream I'm doing because Candace, girl, you made me research a lot of articles and look up CIA guidelines and everything on this one. Oh, you heifer. See, y'all, we wouldn't have to do this if Candace wasn't out here lying her butt off about everything or saying things that makes no sense to the common man. All right, it's y'all. But yeah, no, I had to pull up some CIA information on stuff because, in case you all haven't noticed, I proved my point in a post. Okay, I said I could have sworn I heard Candace say that the government called her or the feds or somebody called her and told her that she was being targeted. There was a hit list or something. Yeah, I found the article. And this is the thing. I want to shout out to all of you all that have tuned in. Yesterday, we had a fantastic live. And y'all, this is what I do. I research and report. Okay. Whether I'm in favor, I'm still questioning the response I got back from the University of Rhode Island. That's proof that I don't always like the information I put out. I might heavily disagree with it, but I put it out there and I let people decide for themselves what they're going to do with it, right? That's it. I'm not here to change the minds of the candy asses, and we definitely can't do anything about the bots. Bots. But at the very least, I can just truly say thank you all for supporting the Lady Luck Club, supporting all the Luxers, the members, guests, people who aren't subscribed and should be. I can say thank you all so much for tuning in. The vertical broadcast of yesterday's live stream has over 33,000 views. That is one of my highest viewed videos. And I didn't expect that. I just didn't. Because if you guys look at my analytics, you see I don't trend to where I'm getting tens of thousands of views like that. So that was, I can say it's an absolute blessing. And, when you start telling the truth and putting out facts, it pisses a lot of people off. So I expect the candy asses and the bots to be mad. I don't know why, because they don't, she doesn't pay their bills, but whatever. So to that extent, thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. It warms my heart. And it just lets me know I'm doing something right. But yeah, we're not here to change anybody's mind. It doesn't stop me from putting out the information. Just like, at some point Candace is gonna have to think twice because she's the one being sued. Candace, where the hell you at, girl? Shout out to all of you all. Thank y'all so much. To my mods. Oh man, let's get some comments in and we're gonna get started, you all. Frankly, my dear, where you been? Y'all, frankly, my dear, is always there, testing me on the trolling just to see how quick I can respond. I appreciate you, frankly, my dear. How you doing? What's going on? Let's see. What's happening? Deb, is it DB? Wait until Candace reads Charlie's new book. She gonna lie and say she knew all about it. Y'all, listen. It's so crazy that, and then here's the thing. Charlie Kirk had a whole YouTube channel. And not one time has Candace gone to any video or anything on his YouTube channel and just reacted to it. And I'm not trying to give her ideas. I'm really not. But these are the things in my mind. If I'm saying I'm honoring someone and I'm friends with that person, they were like a brother to me or a sibling of some sort, wouldn't you invite their spouse on your show or go on their YouTube channel and just check out some of their videos as a dedication to them? Like little things like that, She's not thinking about any of that. She's too busy trying to put up, videos of somebody talking about endowments to which they have no understanding of. Or waiting for them to file tax returns and they could have gotten an extension. While she overlooks the fact that they could have gotten another extension. Like, those are the things she's doing. Insinuating everyone, including Erica Kirk, but then want to sit here and say, no, I'm not talking about Erica Kirk when she gets called out on. Now she's saying that the French president, the Macrons want to unalive her. because reasons. Candace, they wouldn't even waste time with filing a lawsuit against you, girl. Can we just be logical with that for once? Why would they waste time in getting an attorney, filing a lawsuit, being subjected to all that backlash with it, if they just wanted to just pop her behind and be done with it? Like, seriously, why waste time with the courts, especially our U.S. courts? Candace, no, they're not trying to target you to unalive you. They want to sue you for defamation. You're continuously saying that Brigitte Macron was born a man. No one told you to say that. You decided to say that on your own. Therefore, the consequence is this hefty lawsuit where they will not only meet their burden with proving defamation, but also with malice intent. Plus, because of all that double down you keep doing, they had to file an amended complaint. And we will be taking a look at the case. Shout out to No Reply. We will be taking a look at the case docket activity to see what's going on with that, because now she's outed her own attorneys. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. As you all come in, hit that like button. We're not playing no games with it. Hit the like button. Shout out to all my mods. Thank you all so much for being here. We're definitely all hands on deck with the chat, if you guys can, and I appreciate it. It seems like everybody enjoys that vertical broadcast. So if you're seeing, in case you didn't know, if you're seeing two broadcasts, one is a vertical broadcast that's friendly for cell phones. The other is the standard horizontal, and the vertical one seems to get more views, I guess, than the horizontal because it's more friendly to a cell phone. So make sure you guys hit that like button as you come in. And yes, we have some articles, some information we're going to go over. Milk Bar has done a video. Ami Kozak did a video. I forgot to play it yesterday, but we're going to play it today. And we're going to end out on some comedy. Y'all, please don't let me forget. After all of this, we're going to have to laugh at something. So, because otherwise it'll just give you a headache. Sorry, frankly, my dear. I guess Charlie wanted to be a Jew in some ways. He was naive. Okay. I don't know what you mean by that. You got to explain that a little bit better. He was pro-Israel. You don't have to be a Jew to be pro-Israel, frankly. Come on. Dr. D, go Candace. Okay, got it. Francis, shout out to you. My mods, thank you so much for tuning in. Does Candace know about the French women who were taken to court in 21 for doing the same thing she is doing and how they lost their case? I guess she didn't do any research. Now she will learn. Yeah, exactly. And I said this when I first started reporting on that. Candace could have easily gotten the court documents and just went over the court documents. But in case you all haven't noticed, or maybe you have, even when she got hit with the Macron lawsuit, the first lawsuit, it was over 200 pages. No one said she had to read the whole thing. She could have gotten a summarizer similar to what I did, or she could have went on Chat GPT and had it summarized. And it would have given her a summarizer of all the key points in the lawsuit and went over that. She didn't even go over the lawsuit. Candace, you had 3 attorneys that you've now outed their work office because you thought somebody was sending you a letter. Oh, girl, it was funny hearing you read that thing. But you thought somebody was sending you a letter about some planes and a hanger and all this other nonsense. Yeah, while you outed your attorneys. Like, the average person didn't read the lawsuit, so they didn't think to look at the address on the complaint to see that this is where your attorneys worked. No. But you won't even do that. Basic research. Candace, basic research. This is why I say, as I always do, Candace, you're bad at this, girl. You're bad at this. I literally would have my attorneys, okay, we're going to read the lawsuits filed against the 2 French journalists and go from there. Along with the appeal, I want the transcript. I would have asked for all of that. But she didn't even do that. It's so weird. And then when she did talk about it, she took that reversal of the lower court's ruling as a victory in saying that, oh, see, I was right. The courts ruled that she was born a man. That's not how courts work, Candace. That's not what that ruling was about. That's not what the appeal was about. That's not why the higher court reversed the ruling. But guess what? It doesn't matter. Most of her base, they don't read and research for themselves. The candy asses and bots don't care at all. So they just took that and ran with it. But they didn't take time to actually read the actual appeal. The court docket, nothing. So you're right, Francisca. She doesn't do her homework. Candace, you're bad at this. She got to learn the hard way. Absolutely. Who needs friends when you can have a candy to backstab you when you were dead? Oh, man. You know, and that's what's so crazy about it. Like I said, Candace, I'm not giving you ideas because we all know you're recycling your conspiracy theories. Now you want to decry that you're being threatened and targeted. We've been down this road before, and Milk Bar has eloquently put it all in a video that we're going to check out in a few minutes, where she said the same thing over and over and over again. This is not the first time she has decried the Macrons or the French government or someone in France is after her. Candace, you're being sued. Get over it. No one told you to out your attorneys. They should be firing you as a client. But if they decide to keep the case, you should be thanking them, and you should at least work with your counsel. At some point, they're going to want you to shut the hell up. Because right now, Candace, you're making it so easy for the Macron's attorney to know exactly what to cross-examine you for. Would it be hard for Candace to be caught perjuring herself? No. The answer is no, because she can't stop lying. You can't make this up. Oh, what's going on, Mr. B5? How you doing? Yes, go away, Candace. Candace is missing. I think she's on Thanksgiving break. You know, the kids out of school this week. So Candace, I guess, decided to not be a teacher for a week. Candace, when the hell are you teaching your kids anything? Because we all know you got enough money to hire a tutor, girl. Frankly said, on the word on the street is Candace is missing. Yeah, I heard you. Just unsub from Brandon Tatum. What happened with Brandon Tatum? I don't watch Brandon Tatum. I don't really know what's going on with him. I don't do videos like that on him, so I have no idea what's happening with that guy. Tell me what's going on with him. What's happening, Tracy, LLC, Franklin, Francisca, Laura, Wyoming. See, Franklin got included in that. Brandon knows how vindictive she can be. So what does he say? Okay, latest Brandon Tatum. Y'all putting it right here in the comments for me. I appreciate it. Latest Brandon Tatum video proves he is a shield for Candace. Doesn't mention her name this entire 2+ months period to call her out. And now he's running to her defense and doesn't even bring any proof. Because they never do. Even other content creators, large content creators that have huge channels that sit here and they, you know, the whole outcry on Twitter X is just laughable. But the ones on YouTube, they never do. They either toe the line, and I can name a couple, where they try to toe the line and say, well, she has the right to free speech and all that. But no. Defamation is not protected under the First Amendment as free speech. When it's provably false with a reckless disregard for the truth, and you're showing malice, no, that's not protected free speech. Because, Candace, we can all ask questions like, maybe did you have any involvement with Charlie Kirk's death? I'm just asking a question, Candace. That's a question. But, I don't sit here and keep asking that. Because at some point, it might start sounding as if I'm being accusatory. But for people to not even be able to present evidence on it, and you're just parroting off of what she's saying, here's just a thought for all the other content creators, Brandon Tatum, all of them. When she was decrying the same thing last year, why didn't Candace Owens go to the FBI last year and give any evidence that someone's targeting her? Why didn't she report this last year to the feds? Because Candace, you don't trust the feds until somehow they start to work to your benefit. Now you trust the feds because you think someone's after you. Now you want to go to them. When you said the same thing last year, Candace, you were saying last year that you felt the Macrons or somebody was targeting you, but you didn't go and file a report or file a complaint. Let them do an investigation. Now you're putting it out there. I've given them everything. I've given them all the documentation that I have. I've gotten these calls. Didn't believe Andrew Colvin when he said it. I posted up the clip from the article where she got this mysterious call from the spouse of a CIA contractor, as if they're allowed to sit here and, you know, fast pass on some information like that. Who is the CIA operative spouse? This is stuff she's saying now. But you didn't go to the police, to your local authorities, to the feds, no one. You have the ability, Candace, to get the attention of the Israeli prime minister to release a 7-page letter. But you don't think to file a complaint when you believe that there's a danger to your life. You got 4 kids and a whole husband. What is George doing? He could even file a complaint because it would affect him and his kids and his family. George said nothing about this so-called credible threat. Candace, your husband hasn't even said anything. It's funny how no one else is saying this around her except her. And she didn't say anything about it to the feds or file a complaint until now. And that's if she did it. Candace, we want to see proof of that. We want to see a copy of the complaint. You can put up anything else. Put up a copy of the complaint. Let's see how that goes. Tracy said, I don't believe it for a minute that the French president paid someone to whack. Me either. She's been saying this for over a year. Ever since she's been hit with this lawsuit, she's been mad ever since, throwing a tantrum. You know, doing what she does. Candace, you should have filed this stuff a long time ago. Because it's like the boy who cried wolf. Except you're more just howling at the moon. And it makes it less credible. So Candace is probably getting ready for Thanksgiving, not that she believes in it anyway. Yeah, I think she's probably just off for the week for Thanksgiving. Oh, man. All right, y'all. We're going to get to it. If this is a hoax, Candace must do time in prison. Exactly, girl. Listen, Candace, if you are lying about there being a threat to your life and you decide to waste resources, to waste the Fed's time, or anything else, you understand they can get you for filing a false complaint. I hope all of you all are aware of that. FBI, police, they don't like wasting their time. They take every credible threat seriously. But if you go in after a whole year, you've been saying this stuff, and you file a false complaint, Candace, because you're trying to keep up optics, they will come to you and they will charge you and investigate you for that. Just so you know, Candace. So that complaint, that threat you saying better be credible. If you're going to waste the FBI, the so-called whoever you went to with this, it better be credible if you're going to waste resources. They will do that. They're not, they wasted, you know how much money and time they're wasting on all these so-called conspiracy theories related to the investigation of Charlie Kirk's assassination, because they have to take these tips and at least look into it. Man hours and time they're putting into things about pipes underground, some trap door, some tunnels. They may have laughed at the communistic bees, but whatever. All the people she's falsely accused, well, they have to take time out their day to call these folks and ask them questions. Everyone at Turning Point USA, even people in the government, that she has sat here and insinuated in being involved, or just flat out accused them of being involved. They have to sit here and question these people. You can't make this nonsense up. So if she goes and does that stuff, guess what? They're wasting time and man hours and having to do that. Well, she has not presented any evidence. Evidence is the key word of the day. Evidence. Something she still has not. Candace, we're still waiting on that video of Tyler Robinson walking with a woman. You said you're going to put that up, girl. So, all right, y'all, let's get to it. The communistic bees. I know. she doesn't care. She does the silliest things and doesn't care. So let me get to the article first. You know, because people didn't believe me when I said, you know what? No, we're going to check out Milk Bar. We're going to go to Milk Bar. We'll go straight to Milk Bar. And then when we get to the articles, I'll go over the article where it was reported that she said that a CIA contractor's spouse called her and told her similar thing that Andrew Colvett told her. Yeah, okay. How would a CIA contractor know this stuff, and why would they relay that type of information? I don't know. But we'll go over the guidelines as far as what they're able to even relate. Like, he would have to have access to that type of information, even say something like that. And why would the CIA contractor not call her himself, as opposed to the spouse of that CIA contractor? And Candace, who is the CIA contractor? You don't mind outing anyone else? At least give us a job title of the person that's this alleged CIA contractor. It's in an article. She said it. I told you how she said that. So we're going to pull up the article after we check out Milk Bar. Just as an FYI, the judge threw out the cases regarding James Comey and Letitia James. I got a comment earlier saying, why is Candace newsworthy? Because she's in the news. What do you want? But just in case you want some more news. So the cases against James Comey and Letitia James were thrown out by a judge. So there you go. CNN has a 1 minute, 12-second video on that. I checked that out before we did this. But just as an FYI, there's some news for you guys. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get to Milk Bar TV. Shout out to him for posting up this video. The many times Candace Owens has claimed her life in danger. She's being attacked. There's a deadly something, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. You guys make sure you go check out Milk Bar TV. Shout out to him for putting this together. I love his compilations. He does great work on that. And he doesn't have a problem, throwing Candace's words against her, because that's what we're all here for when we're talking about debunking her nonsense. All right. So put a 1 in the chat when you can see and hear. Let's get to it.
This person writes, God bless you. Please be careful. Joan Rivers got killed for exposing Michelle Obama, the Hollywood secret. I appreciate that. I also know that if they want to kill you, they will. I mean, that's the truth. And that's a sad.
When did that happen? What evidence do you have that Joan Rivers was unalive for exposing Michelle Obama? She just reads this stuff and doesn't think twice about it. She doesn't vet anything. Where's legitimate, irrefutable evidence that Joan Rivers was unalived for outing or exposing Michelle Obama? Where's the evidence at? Because I want it. All the bots in the vertical chat. Hey, bots. Y'all say hello over there and play nicely. Where's the actual evidence that Joan Rivers had her life taken for exposing Michelle Obama? I want to see that evidence, Candace, because you're reading this on your platform and you agreed with it. You said, yeah. So that means you're confirming that, because you're bad at this, girl. So where's the evidence to prove it? Joan Rivers, she was what, 80-something years old when she passed? 90? She lived a long life. No. Reduce her life down to her being unalived for exposing Michelle Obama, of all people on earth. You kidding? Candace, you have to produce evidence on that. This is why no one trusts you, bro.
Michelle Obama, the Hollywood secret. I appreciate that. I also know that if they want to kill you, they will. I mean, that's the truth. And that's a sad thing to say.
So she's
but at least you'll know who did it. It was the Frankists.
I just want to be clear. If anything happens to me, blame the Zionists.
In a full year of plots against my family, and we have been in just warrior mode for so long. And I just can't even, they just won't even just let me enjoy an end of pregnancy. They're like, no. What else can we get? What else can we find? And like I said, her piece matched too much the most recent Zionist attack. There is a figurative bounty on my head. Apparently influencers making up to $1,000 to make anti-Candace and anti-Tucker Carlson videos. The people have given us names and said, this is the marketing campaign that's paying for this, or this is the organization foundation that offered me money for this. But you have to present concrete proof. Like, I obviously am aware of the campaign is happening, but we need to actually see the email. So you have to submit the email that you received or the text message that you received to make a video about.
Whoa. So now you have to present concrete proof, Candace, but you don't ever do that. Can we go back to her saying something about content creators getting $1,000? Candace, who's paying people? You have to have evidence on that as well, because you don't understand what you're insinuating when you say that either. But when you're saying that people are being paid to relay information, you're going to have to show some evidence on that too. Or that can be defamatory and you can be sued for that as well, Candace. These content creators can file a huge lawsuit against you because you're still not using the brain and the common sense God gave a billy goat. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. You make these weird accusations on things to which you have no evidence, as Frank Turek put it. Shutting up is not something you're going to do until you're placed under oath. Like Candace would make the ultimate opposing attorney's wet dream. Oh, man. And I say this because you can imagine her being under oath and being cross-examined and asked questions to where she's definitely going to perjure herself. Candace, it will be all too easy. Do you understand? The Macron's attorneys are smarter than you. And they're going to hem you up on that stand, girl. And we will be here to watch it all. You can't make this up.
Concrete proof. Like, I obviously am aware of the campaign is happening, but you
I'm gonna go back to her
marketing
saying
campaign
people
that's
getting paid money.
Influencers making up to $1,000 to make
I want evidence on that. How would she know that? You would have to prove that with transactions, receipts, something, emails, anything. Candace, not your candy ass is calling you, leaving tip lines and stuff like that you're not vetting because you don't know how to do that. Saying, "Oh, I'm a content creator and someone paid me $1,000." Where's the evidence? What's the proof? I heard her say something about being pregnant. Girl, don't blame this on your
too
baby.
much. The most recent Zionist attack. There is a figurative bounty on my head.
Oh, God.
Apparently, influencers making up to $1,000 to make anti-Candace and anti-Tucker Carlson videos.
the people have given us names and
cares
said
about
this
Tucker
is
Carlson?
the marketing campaign that's paying for this, or this is the organization foundation that offered me money for this. But you have to present concrete proof. Like, I obviously am aware of the campaign is happening, but we need to actually see the email. So you have to submit the email that you received. Or
No. You need more than emails if you're talking about someone being paid. Candace, you would need proof of a transaction. Do you understand that? You would need to see proof that money went from one person to another person. From an account to an account, Cash App, PayPal, something. You don't have that, girl. It's like the things that she needs to prove these dumb accusations, she won't be able to get her hands on. Like, scientific evidence to prove someone is born a man. Because DNA, medical records to maybe show that someone has had a sex change. Because that is a major operation that will happen in a hospital. Like, she doesn't have that evidence to support it. And that's exactly what you would need if you're talking about going to court. She could throw out there whatever she wants to the candy asses and to the bots. They'll believe whatever. The court is not for play. And if she does not agree to some sort of mediation and settlement, she will be put on the stand and cross-examined. Because that is how court works. She's gonna perjure herself.
text message that you received to make a video about Candace Owens. I just want to know who specifically is behind it, so we can out that person. 10K is now the bounty for that information. Send it to tips@CandaceOwens.com.
Get the
Emmanuel
like button.
Macron is holding up negotiation.
Yeah, keep putting tips in her tip line that she doesn't vet. Look at that. For that bounty information, Candace, how would you know that what you're receiving is information or proof that someone was paid to put a figurative bounty on your head? Because that's the word she used, a figurative bounty. Yes, we're going back. Because this is laughable to me. A figurative bounty, not a real one.
End of pregnancy. They're like, no. What else can we get? What else can we find? And
Girl,
like I
don't blame
said,
that on your
her
baby.
piece matched too much the most recent Zionist attack. There is a figurative bounty on my head.
Figurative bounty. Y'all see that? To the candy asses. Do you see that word? Figurative. Figurative. That does not mean literal. Figurative. You can't make this up. Candace. You say these things like it's like a running joke. And then you get mad when we all laugh at you. A figurative bounty on your head, girl. No, Candace, you're just bad at this and you don't know what you're talking about and you don't produce evidence. Things that's tangible evidence that people can research and read for themselves. You don't produce any of that. Figures about. Okay.
Apparently, influencers making up to $1,000 to make anti-Candace and anti-Tucker Carlson videos.
The people have given us names.
Candace, I would do this for free, girl. You understand that? I'm doing it for free. You understand? Aside from whatever earnings I get from YouTube, I don't even, sometimes I don't even remember to tell you all about the, financial support for the channel. The $25 live stream go. I forget to tell you all that. My moms have to remind me. Shout out to Laura. They have to remind me of that. I just want y'all to hit the like button. You can't make this up.
And said, this is the marketing campaign that's paying for this, or this is the organization foundation that offered me money for this. But you have to present concrete proof. Like, I obviously am aware that the campaign is happening, but we need to actually see the email. So you have to submit the email that you received or the text message that you received to make a video about Candace Owens. I just want to know who specifically is behind it, so we can out that person. 10K is now the bounty for that.
You can out that person. See, Candace, this is why people said that you created this social autopsy strictly for outing people, because that's your MO. Doxing, which is a cyber crime. You dingus. Doxing is illegal. Say it with me, children. Candy asses in the box. Doxing is illegal. Doxing is a violation of federal law. Doxing is considered to be cyber harassment, a form of bullying and intimidation. Doxing can also be considered a part of bribery and extortion. If you do this or you don't do this, I won't put this information out here about you to guilt you or to shame you. Doxing is against the law. For some reason, Candace has no regard for the rule of law, so she doesn't care about doxing being illegal. She just tries to justify it. Let the lawsuits continue to rain upon her head, because her and anyone that aids in that behavior, I don't care if you're a bot or candy ass, don't care. Mommy sleuth, you can be equally named and found just as liable as Candace Owens. So you let her pull you down that rabbit hole if you want to. You'll be paying the cost for it. It's illegal. Candace, good God. No common sense God gave a billy goat, but you're talking about you've got experience on earth.
Send it to tips@CandaceOwens.com.
Emmanuel Macron is holding up negotiations to end the Russian and Ukrainian war. Unless you stop speaking about his wife. Obviously, I don't want to have on my conscience that less Christian men could have died in the East if I just shut up about something. I kind of go back in.
Candace, did you mention anything about the Christians that were being, slaughtered in Nigeria? Did she ever say anything about that? Because I don't recall her doing a video about Christians being murdered in Nigeria. I don't recall her saying anything about that. Just saying. I don't recall her saying that at all. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Leah. Nope. She never said anything about that. But she wants to talk about Christians being slaughtered anywhere else on earth. In the eyes of God, is one life more important than the other? No. We're all seen equally. So when she's out here doxing people and they're catching death threats, like the Jewish conservatives and Christians that are being slaughtered in Nigeria, people that she's showing up photos that just so happen to be students that attend a campus, that go to school, and they catch death threats. Phil Lyman. Does she care about those people catching death threats? Nicholas Ray is sitting in jail for 12 counts for sending online death threats to 3 Jewish conservatives. The head of security and his personnel that guarded Charlie Kirk, they received death threats. People are getting death threats when she says things, and she doesn't care. And I can guarantee you the candy asses don't care either. Most of them have no soul, and they're bots, so I don't care what they think. But the fact that people are catching death threats because of Candace Owens, directly because of her. Her conspiracy theories are leading to death threats, and she doesn't care at all. Candace, you are soulless.
My mind to that conversation, and I find myself wondering whether or not Trump was being directed by somebody to give me a call.
Huh?
And whether he was being honest with me, if it was really coming from him, if it was coming from higher up. My general perspective is that we live in a...
Trump didn't have to call you, heifer. Are you kidding? Trump didn't have to call her. Of all people, the president of the United States called you. The fact that he has your number and just called you and said, hey, can you take it easy on, calling the first lady of France a man? It's more than what the average person would get. I don't know. Trump's never called my phone number. He didn't just call everybody. You said he called you, Candace. You wore that like a badge of honor. What is her whole ordeal now with Trump? I mean, it's not like she's mad at him. It's just like she can't stand his guts anymore. Candace, you voted for him. You supported him. He called you to give you a heads up because he's out here trying to make things happen on a global scale with other world leaders. And you're out here attacking the first lady of France, and it's disturbing to the French president. It's annoying. It's like a tick. And you just won't let it go because you still have no scientific evidence to prove it. But he called you to give you a heads up. He wanted you to calm down with it. It's upsetting. You don't care about her children, her grandchildren, none of that. But the president called you and told you, can you chill out on it? He didn't have to do that. Trump didn't have to do that. Was he obligated to call her? No, I'm not MAGA. That's the thing. I'm not left or right. That's the beauty of me being me. And even I know the president of the United States calling you saying, can you calm down? Why would he do that just to mock her or something? He would not have wasted his time with calling her. He would have just been like, you know what? She just run her mouth, whatever. He called her for a reason. Why would that be disingenuous? And he called her because he felt that they had that type of relationship. She supported him. She voted for her. She wanted others to vote for her. So he felt comfortable enough to call her to say this. And now she's like, oh, it's disingenuous. I don't know if he was being honest and sincere about it. What do you mean? You can't make this up. Whether he was told to call her, he did. He called her. And that was it. She could have said, oh, okay, cool. I get what you're saying. Or she's doing what she did. She ignored him either way. So why even mention it, Candace? It just doesn't make any sense. And this is coming from somebody I'm not left or right. Trump does not pay my bills. Neither did Obama and anyone else or Biden. Pick one. So I don't owe any fealty or loyalty to a person. Just as a FYI. That's why I don't care about the bots going crazy.
A nation that is governed by the military. So I don't necessarily believe that Trump is in control of things. I can't see them wanting to make it to discovery. I just don't see that happening. I think they'll fake kill Brigitte first. But they'll be like, oh, Brigitte passed away from stress because of what Candace did. Oh, nobody can talk about her being a man anymore because Brigitte's gone. This is terrible. The French press is reporting that Annie Trogneau died on July 3rd and then was buried on the 15th in Amiens. And that Anne-Marie's daughter, Christine, died on July 19th and then was buried on the 25th. So that was 2 days after my lawsuit. Anyway, take from that what you...
But where's the DNA evidence to prove that these are the real people that you're referring to? You can't show an autopsy report or anything, but what evidence do you have, girl? Candace won't even go to visit UVU campus to retrace the steps of the shooter to see whether or not it is plausible that he was the shooter. She won't even go to the campus in person. This is why we say you don't care, Candace, because you don't go out your way to try to do any on-the-ground investigation or researching or anything. You just do a pre-script recorded video, and then you let that premiere, and that's it. That's the extent of you caring about that. But you're talking about people being deceased now. I mean, at the very least, did you try to get a photo of the gravesite? We don't know who or what she's talking about. Like, no evidence to support this. Even if it seems minute, put it up. Post up the photos of the gravesite. Let's see the gravesite faucet. I mean, good grief, girl. You can't make this stuff up.
Well, we're still investigating.
I'm not
Things are
taking it.
happening. Strange events are happening. It could be nothing. Who knows? And
It's
of course,
nothing.
is interesting because, had those two individuals.
Yeah, it's interesting because she's saying it is. Candace, none of this is suspicious. There's nothing suspicious about anything you're saying. You're making it up. What we found suspicious is the fact that you won't even corroborate half of the things that you're saying with a picture or an article or something. You learned nothing from the two French journalists that are still right now. That case is still in appeal status, by the way. It's not closed. Candace, we're going to go over the court docket with the Macron lawsuit.
Have been alive. We may have to subpoena them.
This is
Get a
ridiculous.
statement. I am telling you to
Hey,
back
Peter.
off right now. Right now. Don't do it. Okay? Don't you think about it. I know exactly who you are. I know exactly who you were that were exerting pressure. Don't you pretend to be noble now and say nice things about Charlie Kirk and think you're going to slide into his chair. Okay?
Yeah, because Candace wants that chair. Candace, don't you even think about it. Don't you even think about saying Erica Kirk's name or in the same statement she killed Charlie Kirk. Don't you even think about it. We all know you want to say it. Don't you go noble now. Don't you dare say Erica Kirk killed Charlie Kirk. We never want to hear that from you, girl. Never. Jesus Christ. Erica Kirk is the CEO of Turning Point USA, Candace. You're not. You are not his wife. You're George Farmer's wife. We're all waiting for you to go make that man a sandwich. They owe you nothing at Turning Point. And yet, somehow there are leaks there. So, to Turning Point, why don't you all become whistleblowers before you go leaking things to Candace Owens when she won't provide evidence of anything that you all might or may not be saying? Why not be a whistleblower? If things are so unethical and illegal at Turning Point USA, so all the supposed leaks at Turning Point, why not become a whistleblower where you are protected by federal law? And then that way you don't have to worry about losing your jobs like that out of retaliation or anything to that nature. Why not become a whistleblower? If you have evidence that's credible, then why not be a whistleblower? There are federal laws in place for whistleblowers for their protection. Why not do that? Make this make sense. Why sit here and leak things to someone that spreads online conspiracy theories that leads to people getting online death threats and people being outed and doxxed and cyber harassed and bullied and all these other dumb things that the candy asses in the box can't help themselves from doing because they don't know to do anything else. They don't read or research nothing. But yet you won't become a whistleblower and do it the right way. You could be a whistleblower. Go get the federal protection under the law. Oh, Candace, nothing. Nothing. I lose no sleep putting up facts and evidence that debunks her. She's not my Lord and Savior. She is not God. So for those who want to bow down and worship her, you do that at your own risk. Me? No. No thanks. I'll let you all take that idol worship yourselves. Let's get back to it.
Over my dead body, which I'm sure can be arranged. They would rather protect Brigitte, even though the whole world no longer believes that Brigitte Macron was born a female, right? But they would rather risk the entire thing coming undone than to just say, okay, maybe we took it too far. Let's get Macron out of office and put somebody else in there that we can control. They are taking this way too far. Okay?
Hey, who?
Killing people more is actually...
Candace, who is they? The French? The Jews? Who are we talking about now? The feds? Turning Point? Who's they? A combination of all? Who is they? These pronouns are going to get you in trouble. Well, I'm curious. Who is they? Who is they? I want the bots and the candy asses to respond because they speak her language. Unfortunately, we here in the Lady Luck Club, the Lucksters, people of intelligence, we don't speak code. So who is they? Can y'all just tell me who is they? Can you pause the insults for a second that you're throwing my way? Just tell me who is they? Are you all saying they is Jews? They are the French? Who is they? Just give me one answer to that question. Tell me who is they? Because you all speak her language. They who? Anyone in opposition to truth is they? They is them. No, who is they? Is they the French government? They Jewish people? When she says they, who is she referring to? I'm waiting on the candy asses and the bots to tell me who is they, because they obviously get that language. They understand who they is. Somebody said they is them. Jews, Sam's, French. Is that it? People like me. Oh. Oh no. They is you. They is me. Oh, okay, got it. She doesn't know, obviously. I'm asking a question. Who is the they of the voices in her head? Somebody said they is me. They is you. The Jews. Somebody said, did anyone say French government here? Is it the Macrons? Does they include the Macrons? They're right wing. Love them they pronouns. Evidence right there. It's a shame that people are willing to ruin an innocent life without proof. Exactly. Candace, you kinfolk, ain't it? I don't know. Who are they? I'm asking the candy asses in the bots. When she says they, who is she referring to? Let me go back. So, because you all speak her language. I don't. We're trying to figure out who is they. And who is she referring to when she says they? She's talking about French, the Macrons. She's not even giving context here. You think you're going to slide into? I'm assuming she was talking about somebody at Turning Point with this.
Don't you pretend to be noble now and say nice things about Charlie Kirk and think you're going to slide into his chair. Okay? Over my dead body.
Who was she talking to specifically right here? Because it wasn't Rob McCoy. Was she talking to Mikey McCoy in this? Was this directly specific to Mikey McCoy? Yeah, the candy asses understand this stuff. We're trying to figure it out. But they say we don't listen. We're listening.
Which I'm sure can be arranged. They would rather protect Brigitte, even though the whole world no longer believes that Brigitte Macron was born a female.
False. Candace, you and 5 million people that worship the ground you walk on don't believe that she's a man. The rest of us are waiting for scientific evidence that you cannot produce. And at the end of the day, I'm not here to take away this woman's womanhood or motherhood. She had 3 children. Candace, were you born a man? Don't make me put up the picture of Jermaine Stewart. Candace, you've had 4 kids, and you sit here and you say someone else is born a man, and you take away the fact that she had 3 kids herself, that she has grandchildren. Would you want someone to do that to you? Why am I asking this? She doesn't care. No one believes you, Candace, except the candy asses in the box. That's it. Your cult following, they believe you. Why is that not enough? Why do you have to say the whole world? That's trillions of people. We're not going there. No, leave the rest of the world out of it. You and the 5.68 million on your channel believe it, but leave the rest of the world out of that. Because we don't. The rest of us go on facts and evidence. Scientific evidence, Candace. You asked for the blood of the First Lady because you know you need it, girl. And you don't have it. Oh, they're going to crush her in court.
Right? But they would rather risk the entire thing coming undone than to just say, okay, maybe we took it too far. Let's get Macron out of office and put somebody else in control. They are taking this way too far. Okay? Killing people more is actually going to catalyze the understanding that we're all having that there is something very dangerous and something deep and dark that is going on.
So anyways, like I said, if I get killed, it's definitely a Zionist.
It's like, what is this? What are you guys?
Wait a minute. If she said it was definitely a Zionist, really, Candace? The Zionists aren't French, are they? Are you including French in that? French Zionists? I'm assuming that's the thing. Candace, first you said the Zionists, now you're saying the Macrons and the French government. And someone that trained with the military. You can't even keep up with who's targeting you. You can't make this up.
It's like, what is this? What are you guys? None of this is real. How are you just coming up with these weird storylines?
Oh, wow. How is she doing that? Okay, let's go over to the article. because I want to share this with you all. This is on sportskeeda.com. The link to this article is in the description of the video because we read here in the Lady Luck Club. So here's proof. Now, I can't control whether or not you believe anything on earth. If you don't believe words are real or facts are facts and laws are laws and neither of those things care about your feelings, then you're going to disagree either way. I'm not here to persuade people like that. They believe that somehow, they're in some alternate reality where Candace is Lord and Savior. We don't here. We're tapped into reality here on earth. And here on earth, we call this documentation. So this article here says that it was supposed to be you. Candace Owens alleges Andrew COVID called her days after Charlie Kirk's assassination was a shocking claim. So this article was put out on November 21st. And you guys can read it at your own, time. I'm going to drop the link to the chat. So here we go. Shout out to No Reply. We're going to get to the case docket. Oh, yeah. We're definitely going to look at the case docket to see if there are any updates made. If I were Candace's attorneys, I would drop her like a bad habit. It wouldn't even be hard, Candace. You outed their whole business office. And then you said that the DHS and the CIA, the FBI, you said all these people in this building were 80% that law firm that's representing you. You can't make this stuff up. So she doesn't even care about putting her own attorneys, in a line of danger, knowing that the candy asses don't care. They don't care. They don't care about doxing, any cyberbullying, harassment. Y'all read the chat. They don't care. They don't care. So this article goes over what occurred, of course, from September 10 with the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Her comments coming from accounts from Turning Point USA alleging inconsistencies, misinformation, what she views as elements of a broader cover-up with no evidence. In the November 20th, 25 episode, Candace Owens recounted a phone conversation. She said, so if you want to go to the video, it's the November 20th, 2025 episode because the candy asses in the box challenged me. It said, when and where, pull it up. Here it is. That's the episode to go to. I'm not watching it. I'm just not in the mood to watch a Candace episode today. I'm not. But that's the episode. So go to that date and pull up that video. She recounted a phone conversation she says occurred less than 3 days after Charlie Kirk was killed. She claimed she was crying during the call. Andrew COVID was similarly emotional. According to her, she initially understood COVID's comments as part of the bargaining phase of grief, as if she can dictate how someone should respond to the loss of someone. I mean, Candace, you don't get to dictate how people grieve. But if he called you just like you claim Trump called you, giving you a heads up, telling you, can you take it easy about the whole nonsense with the First Lady of France? If COVID called you and said, it should have been you, why would you think he would call you and just tell you that? If he can't stand your guts and you don't like him either, why would he call you and give you this heads up? Because, mind you, she doesn't care whose life she's put in danger. Do you really think someone that doesn't care for Candace or her safety or well-being would just call her and tell her, it should have been you? That makes no logical sense. He wouldn't have called her at all. He would have just been like, whatever happens, happens, right? If he doesn't like her, he doesn't care for her, he had no concern for her safety, he would not have told her that. But somehow she found that to be disingenuous. She explained that in the early days following the assassination, she interpreted the remark as an expression of shock and anguish, not as a literal assertion or warning. Why would anyone call you and play around with that, Candace Owens, and say it should have been you? How do you not take that seriously? If you feel that to be the case. Mind you, this is before she just flat said, I don't trust Turning Point. I don't trust the feds. I don't trust the government. I don't trust anybody. But she trusts her tips coming in that she refuses to vet. You can't make this stuff up. However, Candace Owens said her perspective has shifted with time as she revisited early conversations and messages from the period. She suggested that the comment now raises additional questions. She recalled that on September 10th, 2025, while Kirk was hospitalized, he told her there was a list with her and Tucker Carlson's name on it and advised them to lay low, though he did not disclose the source of that information. Why didn't she ask? Why didn't you ask, Candace? Okay, so Owens said she never received any communication from federal authorities regarding such a list. Once again, why not ask and follow up? You know how you said Erica Kirk should have asked a lot of follow up questions to Mikey McCoy when he called her and said, Charlie's been shot, Charlie's been shot? Where she sat here and dogged and dragged her for that? Candace, why didn't you ask Andrew COVID follow up questions and get information about this so called source? Why didn't you get all that information? You would think you would do that, right? Or how about this? You and the mommy sleuths go out and figure out who is the one out here looking for you. You call yourself investigating anything else, you would think you would investigate someone actually putting out a target on you. You would think that would be the case because that's common sense. No. Nope. I'm just asking questions, Candace. We're just asking questions. Oh, God, you can't make this up. Owens said she never received any communication from federal authorities regarding such a list. She also noted, here it is, because this is what I was trying to say yesterday about the government or the Fed, somebody calling her, saying the same thing. She also noted that another person, whom she described as a well-known woman married to a CIA contractor, contacted her with a similar warning. Candace, who is this woman and the CIA contractor? And this is the spouse of the CIA contractor. Who are these people? Why not give more information on this? If you outing people because they're a donor, why didn't you just at least put up, there's a CIA contractor. Here's his job title. They called me on this day and time, and here's the call log. No evidence at all on this. The CIA contractor told his wife, there's a list out here where you and Tucker Carlson are on it as a target, and you don't put out any other information about the CIA contractor. You don't say anything about this at all. You can't make this up. Candace, either you're not taking this seriously, or like I said, you're bad at this, girl. Why would you not say, okay, a CIA contractor called me today? And now you're bringing up questions about whether or not the CIA contractor is able to do this. Y'all really believe? Y'all, what department do you think this CIA contractor could possibly work in to even come across that type of information, which seems like it would require some sort of, clearance of some sort, to see a list with her and Tucker Carlson's name on it as targets for a hit list? What department could you possibly think that person works in? Would that be IT or security or something, Candace? Who is this person? This is what she said. You can't make this stuff up. Candace gave up her own attorney's office as FBI responsible for charging staff. Exactly. Candace, you're running around here saying that a CIA contractor's spouse, not the contractor themselves, the spouse called you and said, yeah, there's a list and you and Tucker Carlson's on it. Similar to what Andrew COVID told you. And you put that in your November 20th, 2025 episode. So all the candy asses in the box can go watch that episode and hear her say that. Because don't come for the queen. Candace, you're bad at this, girl. You said this. So let me just I put up some information on how is this possible for a CIA contractor to be able to even relay that type of information to anyone. So we went on this website, CIA.gov, because I don't care if Candace doesn't trust the feds. She obviously, and we're going to get to her tweet where she trusts them enough to tell them hey, just as an FYI, you all think someone's after me after a whole year. We saw Milk Bar TVs where he just took her clips of her talking about a figurative bounty. Oh, it was some content creators getting paid up to $1,000. Like, what the hell? That's not even worth a sneeze, Candace. So you're saying these people not worth more than $1,000? Really? But, whatever. Now you're talking about Andrew COVID told you something about a hit list. A CIA contractor told his wife, who then called you. That's what the article said. That's what she said. They're just reporting what she said from her episode. This is what you all's dear Lord and Savior to the candy asses and to the bots put out here in an episode. She said that, not me. The article just repeated what she said in the episode. You can go watch. So let's talk about how does that happen? Protecting secrets in each other, the pre-publication classification review board. CIA officers, as a condition of employment, signed the standard CIA secrecy agreement when entering on duty. All contractors sign a secrecy agreement that is consistent with the terms and conditions of their contract. I don't care whether or not the candy asses believes anything that the government says. This is how it goes. And those same candy asses would not want to stand before a judge in a court of law either. Just like Candace Owens does not want to be sued because she's a coward. You say all this stuff, and then when you get hit with a lawsuit, then you get mad. Nope. There are laws, Candace. Even the Bible says that thou art to obey the laws of the land. What is she claiming herself to be now? It's certainly not Christian. You can't make this up. But this is what happens when you go and work for the CIA. You sign the secrecy agreement, whether you are a permanent employee or contractor. So what access did this so-called CIA contractor have, Candace, to where they went home, told their wife, a well-known woman, who describes someone like this, a well-known woman? Is this a celebrity we're talking about? You're talking about someone married to someone that works as a contractor for the CIA. I thought you didn't trust the government, Candace. What's happening here? I thought to the candy asses, to the bots. I thought Candace didn't trust the feds or the government. I thought she didn't trust anybody in Hollywood. So how's this person well known? A well-known woman could be anybody, a celebrity, could be the sister of someone. She's, Jeffrey Epstein, who knows? Married to a CIA contractor, contacted her with a similar warning. What type of information did this contractor get his hands on? And why is he relaying this against a secrecy agreement? Are you kidding? So she puts that out there, but doesn't go into detail about who this well-known woman is. Candace, do you realize, let's say if that happened, this CIA contractor could lose their job and be investigated for violating this agreement? Do you think they would actually be able to tell you there's a list, a hit list? Where would they get that information from? How would they get access to that? That sounds like something that would be classified to me. Targets, list, hit list, all this stuff. What? But the wife calls you and just says, cavalier like. You can't make this up. She recalled this conversation. It's not like she took that information and said, you know what? I may not trust the government. But if a CIA contractor's wife is calling me, first thing I'm going to do is get the CIA contractor on the phone. I'm going to ask them, where did you get that information from? Was this something you came across in your line of duty? Something you overheard someone else say? Is this hearsay? It could be hearsay. It could have been gossip at work. Leaked information. That's a good question. Was it something someone called them and told them? Was it someone that, may have sent in a tip? Because, she doesn't vet her tips, but the CIA did. How would this person come across that information? And then why would they go home and tell their spouse and not call you themselves? Is it where the wife knows you and the husband doesn't? How does this go? And you don't ask more questions? Candace, you didn't ask this CIA contractor? Can you tell me where you work at least? What do you do specifically? Because if this is something he just heard in the break room, that's hearsay. Why not ask for evidence or proof of this? She claims she's got leaks in the FBI. I didn't hear her say anything about leaks with the CIA. Candace, is this your leak? Is this a leak of yours? How does this go? That's what I'm curious to know. Is this some sort of leak for Candace? But she doesn't trust the government. She just doesn't trust the feds. Like I said yesterday, it's very hypocritical to say you don't trust anything or anyone, you don't believe anything or anyone except what comes in your tip line, which is conspiratorial, at best, worst, defamatory, and puts people's lives in danger, causes people to catch death threats. You're talking about communistic bees and underground pipes and tunnels at a campus. But you don't sit and expand on information told to you from a well-known woman married to a CIA contractor. Are you for real, Candace Owens, farmer? Do you understand this, what you're insinuating as well? And what this contractor could possibly be facing? He could be put on a review, investigation. He could be fired. Depending on how much information he leaked, probably even charged. Do we not as a nation deserve to maintain our sovereignty and have some things just kept out of the public purview? I mean, everything is not. There are people in the ground for what they knew. That's wisdom my grandmother told me. There's people who are 6 feet under because of what they knew. I don't want to know everything because I want to be able to say if someone ever asks me something under duress, I don't know and mean it and be telling the truth. There's a reason why things are classified. Not because I feel like I need to know all this information about the Fed, the FBI, the CIA, but because we don't want our enemies to know this. Because it could weaken our borders and our defense. If our enemies get a hand of this stuff, if they find out what's going on, how do we maintain our sovereignty and protection here? If you just have a bunch of mommy sleuths that want to sit here and have information leaked out from the CIA, the FBI, because of reasons. That includes people's medical information. You know, because Candace, you didn't have to post up that information from the hospital that was given to you in a violation of HIPAA either way, showing where Charlie Kirk was admitted into the ER. No one needed to know that because it doesn't get you any close to this so-called shooter that you allege exists. That's not Tyler James Robinson. We're no closer to knowing who this other shooter is than we were 2 months ago. No closer to that. Disseminating that medical information was unnecessary. If you can't even expand on who this person is and what they told you, Candace, why would you put it out there that some well-known woman married to a CIA contractor contacted you with a similar warning that Andrew Covid said about you and Tucker Carlson being on a hit list? So if the CIA contractor catches it, please know that it's Candace Owens Farmer's fault. And she should have made her husband a sandwich. Because you can't make this up. This is a lifelong obligation which exists to help avoid the damage to national security, because that's a thing. You know, it's so crazy. It's like Candace has already said she'd rather be Russian either way. But it's very un-American-like to think that every little thing that the CIA, the FBI, the government does, despite the fact that certain things need to be kept confidential for our defense, should just be out there because reasons. We need to know it for what? When she doesn't even ask more questions from a CIA contractor whose well-known wife called her saying, you're on a hit list. We don't get any more information about that, though. Yeah, okay. The hypocrisy is staggering to me. It's highly hypocritical not to put more information about that out, but you don't care if the CIA contractor catches it. Oh, God. So here's why, national security and to the agency's mission that disclosing classified information would inflict, because it would inflict some sort of damage to our national security. If there's a hit list out here, why didn't the CIA contractor, once again, report that and do a complaint and then allow the authorities to contact Candace Owens? Why would the well-known wife call her directly, but they're not concerned enough to report it to the authorities to file a formal complaint? You understand? This is why people don't take this seriously from Candace, because she's not following the steps that it would take to show that you're seriously concerned about your safety. The CIA contractor didn't think to file a complaint, and you're contracted with the CIA? Make this make sense. Candace is delusional. Yes, she is. Because you just can't make this up. So the CIA contractor slipped, or Candace has slipped. Somebody messed up. But at the end of the day, if you took that seriously, Candace, you would have filed a complaint. This coming from a CIA contractor? Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna call the authorities right now. Sweet Jesus. It's appalling. I'm curious to know how this person came across that type of information. If it's something he just overheard, or she's making this up. Do you know how bad this looks, Candace? If you're making up some well-known wife married to a CIA contractor that you refuse to disclose information about, but you'll dox everyone else. Girl, bye. I'm not even saying to dox her, because I don't believe in that. But at the very least, be able to say what line of work she's in if she's well known. Because as far as we're concerned, it could be Jeffrey Epstein's sister or something. Who knows? Child boo. Okay, so here's another article about the same thing with her, accusing the Macrons of now trying to plan some assassination. This is from timesnownews.com. Like I said, I show you all evidence and documentation so you all can see this in writing. Whether you like it or not, I don't care. It's called evidence, receipts. So this is it. This is where she posts up this Twitter X we're going to go to in a second. I just find this baffling to me, where she doesn't care about anyone else getting a death threat, but she certainly is sitting here like, oh no, the world's going to end. And I've heard someone just got a target out on me. It's the Macrons. Yes, it's the Macrons. First it was the Zionists, then it was like maybe someone turning point. She don't trust them or the feds or anything. But somehow she finds some tip to be credible enough from the French government. A high-ranking employee of the French government, but you don't trust governments. You don't trust the feds. Or is it that you don't trust the U.S. government and our federal authorities, but you trust a high-ranking employee in France? It sounds very un-American-like, Candace, for you to sit here and to say, I don't trust our own U.S. government, but I trust the French government's high-ranking employee, though. But never mind if a CIA contractor and their well-known wife calls me and tells me this, I'm not going to look into it right away. I'm going to wait a couple months. Then I'm going to think about it. And then I'm going to say something. You can't make this up. But the high-ranking employee of the French government calls, oh yeah, we're on that. Candace, you're going to court. They're suing you. Judge Rennie does not want to hear all this garbage. He's not going to have time for it. The end. You won't even admit you did a motion to dismiss. You kind of glossed over it. And of course, we don't expect the candy asses to ask more questions about that motion to dismiss. No, we don't. They don't even believe that the sky is blue. So well, his only moment so serious we can take him. Oh, child. All right, let's get some comments in. Francisca says she's paranoid. No reply. What's going on? Shout out to you. If you can make $200,000 a live stream, you do not take a day off unless it's a serious situation. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And here we are thinking this, I, I mean, if like I said, if Candace felt that this threat was credible and serious, she would have went to the authorities a long time ago. But because she wants to put up this front that she doesn't trust the authorities, she held off on it. Because she's got to, I guess be consistent in front of her audience. But it's stupid. You think your life's in danger, you're going to ask the CIA contractor more questions, or you're going to go to the authorities, and then you're going to report what the CIA contractor told you at the very least, right? Why would that not be more credible than a high-ranking employee of the French government, Candace? This is so... Y'all see how hypocritical this is? George's BF is Andrew Tate. Really? George Farmer. Andrew Tate is your best friend or your friend in general? Rachel says Candace Owens doesn't know from Shinola. Oh no, we have a... Why is your first name Dick? You people would drink poison if a politician told you it was generally safe. Would we? Are you saying me or the candy asses? I don't know. You gotta help me clarify who you talking about. C-Star, what's going on? It's Tucker's wife. Rumors he's CIA. Candace, are you CIA? Is George part of CIA? I mean, we haven't heard him have a regular job since he was the chairman of Turning Point UK. Candace, are you an operative of the CIA? I'm just asking a question. Are you an informant of the FBI, the CIA, Candace Owens? Farmer? I'm just asking a question here. The Lady Luck Club, we're just inquiring. Because you've got leaks in the FBI, but you don't trust the FBI. Then why trust anything that they say? Why trust anything that comes from the CIA, whether it be through a permanent employee or a contractor or their well-known wife, if you don't trust the federal government, you don't trust the feds? Why would you trust anything that a contractor of all people would tell you? And not them, their wife. Maybe Tucker calls CIA. I don't watch the show. Mr. says she posted to X within the last hour. Oh, good Lord. Let's see here. Life says, if I knew someone wanted to take me out, I'd be making plans with hubby and making sure kids are safe, not laughing on podcasts. You would think she didn't do that. And she said these threats came last year. As some sort of a, what she call it? A figurative bounty. That's how she put it. I just, when you don't follow up on these things, it becomes less credible. Especially if you're saying this over a year. Why not go to them the moment you hear it the first time? And why present a threat to anyone else? Does it make it right for Candace to influence people to cyber harass and bully and dox others? To send online death threats to Jewish conservatives? To out a donor? How is that okay? That's a violation of law, clear violation of law. And she literally says, we out people. She had this social autopsy website that did nothing but dox people. She literally does not care about laws or upholding them. So if she's laughing about people being doxxed and thinks somehow that's necessary to do, I wouldn't point fingers about someone else laughing on a podcast. Unless, you're talking about her, because she's the only one sitting here laughing at the idea of a figurative bounty. I've never made such a claim. I'm not even saying for her to dox the wife of the CIA contractor, but give more information on this. Show some sort of evidence or proof, Candace. Something she never does. You can't make this up. The situation is her legal dealing with her lawyer withdrawing representation. Probably. She's posting about Epstein again. Candace, stick to the subject, girl. You cannot avoid court, no matter how hard you try, unless you agree to a mediation and a settlement, to which I can guarantee you all, That would be the main driving force, because Candace Owens will not do good under oath. Can you imagine her being cross-examined? I want all of you to picture that in your mind. Candace, I know you're listening, Heifer. You're going to be cross-examined if you want to proceed with this case. You've already tried to file a motion to dismiss. That's an indication you don't want it to go on, because you wouldn't file that if you did. But if you want this proceed, please know that you will be deposed. The petitioner will examine you under oath. And if you're lying like hell now, you're going to lie under oath. And they're going to hit your ass up for perjury. And this is going to be epic, because you would have had this coming. It's only so far these lies are going to get you, girl. See, so is she scared now? She wasn't when she was spouting her theories or her eight-part storyline. Exactly. I think Candace has always been scared. Candace, y'all see, we've gone over other cases, other lawsuits that she has filed and that have been filed against her. We went over the lawsuit filed against her from Kimberly Klasick, the lawsuit that she filed against USA Today, Internet News, the one she filed against the apartment, complex that she was paying over $3,500 a month for rent, where she didn't pay rent for 6-7 months. What did Candy ask us with this? I thought she believed in pulling herself up from the bootstraps. And yet, is it okay for her to go 7 months without paying rent? Do you all know she did not go to a virtual hearing? The apartment community was awarded default judgment because she failed to go to court. This is her MO. So even then, she didn't want to go through litigation. When she felt that it was going to be a losing battle, guess what? She didn't even show up for court. Challenge me on that and go through the actual court documents. I dare you. Candace did not even go to court when she sued. She was the petitioner in the matter. She sued the apartment community that she owed $3,500 a month in rent for, times 7 months. She did not pay these people 7 months total of rent. And when it was time for her to go to court, when she realized she had hired the wrong type of attorney, she had hired a personal injury attorney. It was supposed to be an attorney that knows how to deal with evictions, landlord, tenant issues, those types of things. She hired a personal injury attorney. And then she saw that this was going to be a losing battle, and that she still had to pay rent no matter what mold she induced. She chose to live in an apartment for 6 months with what she called to be toxic black mold, according to the court documents. And then she doesn't even show up for the actual hearing. That resulted in a default judgment to the plaintiff. This is how she does when it comes to litigation. She's either seeking a dismissal or she doesn't even go to court. How do you all think she's going to handle this Macron case if the motion to dismiss is denied? And when she filed the lawsuit against USA Today, hers was dismissed for failure to state a claim, failure to prove malice. She even tried to file a petition to the U.S. Supreme Court, y'all. You can't make this up. And it was denied. She lost that case because she couldn't even state a claim. So the defendants, the USA Today, motion to dismiss was granted on those grounds. We went over that case too. This is how Candace performs in court. When it comes to litigation matters, she sucks. She's bad at that as well. That's just stating the facts. That's why this lawsuit with the Macrons, if she proceeds with it, because she's trying to put on a front to these people that she's sitting here lying to, saying this woman was born a man and all, it's going to end up backfiring on her bigly. If she goes and mediates and settles, then she's going to have all these followers coming after her. They may not even care because they worship the ground she walks on. So they might not even care. Might not even bother them. But some people will be questioning, why are you filing a motion to dismiss? Why are you sitting here trying to mediate? She will not do well if she has to take the stand and get deposed. And I can guarantee you they're going to do it. All these lies she's telling, doubling down on her theories and her accusations, of course they're going to depose her ass. Why wouldn't they? Hell yeah, they're going to depose her. Candace will be deposed under oath, subjected to cross exams and everything. And her attorneys are not going to want that because she doesn't know how to keep telling the truth. Candace, you know you can't lie under oath. I hope you know that. That's called perjury, girl. You get under there, you lie under oath, you're done. You're done. So tell her to prove it with her scientific evidence because they're going to bring theirs. And then that's going to be the end of that. But she's not going to want to do that. She's going to want to try to go through some sort of settlement. And her attorney's going to say, yeah, court doesn't work like your YouTube channel. And because she doesn't know how court works, nor do the candy asses, because they don't read anything, they're going to be in for a rude awakening. You need evidence in court. They don't care about all that nonsense y'all talking about. They ain't going to care about no 8-part series. The jury won't watch it. The judge won't watch it. As a matter of fact, in order to have an impartial jury, they're not going to select people who did watch it because they don't want people going in with a preconceived notion. And yes, there's a jury demand. So if she goes through the proceedings, it's going to be a jury trial. She's not going to last. She's not. Her clown ass is going to be held. Oh, man. All that perjury is going to whoop her butt. Oh, man, it's going to be epic. Let's see here. What's going on, Brent? How you doing? Let's see. IDK. I don't understand grown people capping for someone like they do for her. It's strange. Don't put people on a pedestal, y'all. Exactly. That's what they do. They put people on a pedestal. Candace doesn't even like to admit when she's wrong. And she calls herself some sort of investigative something she's not licensed or certified to be. That's why I say independent journalist. Because I'm not licensed or certified with investigations. I do research. There's a difference. And when I get dared to clarify something, then I do it. Ain't God good? This is so crazy. Don't idolize a human being that does not pay your bills, that does not have to take care of your children or your family. Candace does not dictate your everyday lives. When you go to the gas station, you're not calling Candace on saying, hey, can you shoot me $50 for this gas to put in my car? When you have to buy groceries and buy food to eat, she's not paying for that. She doesn't have to take care of any of the candy asses, but they sit here and they defend her to the utmost all day because reasons. I don't know. I don't expect that. I want people to read and verify for themselves. Research on your own. These articles I'm pulling up, I can drop the links and you guys can read them yourselves. That's how it's supposed to be. Here's another article here from IndiaTimes.com. So, I double up on the evidence here. And they're not lying about what she said because she posted it up herself. This is her Twitter X. We're going to get to it in a minute. So if you guys want to read the articles where she speaks about this, when they just talk about this post, this is ample information. Enjoy that reading to the candy asses in the box. I'm sure that scanning should be fun for you. You can't make this stuff up. But no, don't put people on a pedestal. Don't put me on a pedestal. Go behind me and read and research. Candace is the one making the claim. It is her burden to sit here and to show us evidence, scientific evidence, that Brigitte Macron was born a man. She doesn't have it. So when they produce it in court, which is where that evidence should be going, yeah, she's going to be jacked up. And if Candace did get her hands on some exhibits, do you all think she would tell us that? Think about this. Do you all really think Candace would say, hey, I've seen the exhibits. The Macrons brought in scientific evidence that proves that Brigitte Macron was born a woman. You all think she would really tell us that? You all really think she would do a video and say, I've seen the exhibit list. They came with the scientific evidence because they have to exchange exhibits with the other party. That's why she thinks somehow she's indispensable and she has subpoena power when she doesn't, because she doesn't understand what that means. She doesn't know how court works. So she doesn't get subpoena power. She wants to be sued. She says, sue me. I want subpoena power. has no clue of how that works. She didn't go to law school. She won't even read about it. Candace, that's not how that works. Because you can't make this up. But you have to exchange exhibits with the other party. That's how that works in a civil proceeding. Do you all really think that if she saw the scientific evidence from the McCrones exchanged to her as exhibits, that she would actually say it confirms that Brigitte Macron was born a woman? Seriously, do you all really think that? Discovery is exchangeable between both parties. This is discovery. So when they come with the evidence, they're going to have to present that as discovery. They're going to have to present that as exhibits. The exhibit list, all of that is exchangeable with both parties. There are court rules on that. Ask yourselves, do you really think if she were to see scientific evidence from the Macrones, give it to her as a part of the exhibit for the case, that she would actually come out and say, I was wrong. The Macrones brought scientific evidence and it proves that Brigitte Macron was born a woman? She's not going to say that. She's not going to say that at all. She begs everyone to sue her. Thank you. She begs everyone to sue her. And it's not normal. But then when she gets sued, she cries about it like a baby. Candace, stop throwing a tantrum. Go to court. It doesn't end well for those that cry wolf. It doesn't. Oh, we have more. We have a lot of bots in here, you all. A lot of bots in here. They don't think about any of that stuff. Deep thought. That's why I say this stuff. That's why I don't care if they don't have feelings. I don't care if I hurt them. I really don't. I say what I want to say about them. But she will never admit that. Candace will never admit, yep, there's scientific evidence. My attorney showed it to me today. It was part of the exhibit. She's a woman. No. Because she doesn't want to look stupid. That's why she asked for the blood of the first lady. Come on now. Never. Thank you, Susie. She would never show it. So somebody said, where's your pick? I'm not hiding. I'm not hiding. Exactly. Are you talking to me, Elia? Oh, you talking to somebody else? Okay. Dang, you're jealous. Oh no, jealous of what? She's being sued by our president. I would never ever be jealous of that. Candace, girl, you can have that lawsuit all to yourself. Why would anyone be jealous of someone being sued by a world leader? You can't make this up. That's nothing to be jealous about with that, Amber. Okay? No one should be jealous of someone being sued by the French president. It just doesn't get any crazier than that. When you're jealous and envious of someone, you take on the good and the bad. Whatever you perceive to be good things, a whole bunch of bad comes along with that. And I evaluate the pros and the cons. I would never be jealous of someone being sued by a world leader. Child, please. You can miss me with that. She about to pay out millions. What's going on, Amy? If people are sending comments and they're saying things that's just derogatory and stuff, please block them or put them in timeout. Whatever you need to do. To all my mods, we're hands on deck. The bots get out of control. They get mad because they, reading words is hard for them. So I don't expect them to, they don't have to agree, but when they're just being derogatory, block them, remove the comments, do what you have to do. We'll time them out. It is what it is. Trump the throat. That's nonsense. Trump gonna get you. I just want you to know that in dubs, if Trump come for you, they gonna come for you. Oh my God. The Macrones will have investigated everything they need to know about her family, or even the family pet, if the farmers have one. I don't know. Hater. Okay. Of someone being sued by our president. Oh God. Candace is cooked. Why is she making every excuse to prolong this case? I don't know. We're gonna go over the case. I think when the judge sees this Brigitte person, he will understand where Candace is coming from. Y'all, just because somebody looks like a man doesn't mean. Candace puts up photos of E.T. with a blonde wig and says, here's Brigitte. But the candy asses get mad when I put up a photo of Jermaine Stewart and says, here's Candace. I mean, Isn't that fair game? It's fair game. It's fair game. I see that as fair game. I'm gonna put that back up again at the end. All right, let's get to her post, y'all. Oh Lord have mercy. So Candace put up this post and she said this is urgent, y'all, with the red sign. Because it's been a whole year and she's just now saying something. Urgent. 2 days ago, I was contacted by a high-ranking employee of the French government, governments that she doesn't trust. After determining this person's position and proximity to the French couple, not that she's going to tell us who this person is, I have deemed the information they gave me to be credible enough because she never vets her own tips coming in her email. And yes, this is how I'm going to read this post. So if you want to read it for yourself. But I'm going to give some commentary throughout. Somehow she has deemed the information they gave to be credible. How does she do that? Who knows? Candace, you don't know how to vet anything. But, yeah, shout out to the mommy sleuths, I guess. To share publicly in the event that something happens, which she's been saying for a year. In short, this person claims that the Macrons have executed upon and paid for my assassination. Girl, you better have proof of payment, proof of transactions, proof of a lot of proof. Yes, you read that correctly. And so will Judge Rennie, that's presiding over the lawsuit. Candace, Judge Rennie will be reading this as well. How do you not see that as highly defamatory? If you can't prove this to be true, I will never understand. But you're going to find out the hard way in court, Candace. Do you not think the Macrons are going to add this to their claim? Oh, this is definitely going to be presented to the court. Yeah, no. Judge Rennie will be definitely reading this, as well as the jury. Should you choose to not go through the actual proceeding, Candace, and actually go to mediation with a settlement, yeah, the jury and the judge will all be reading this. Because if you have no credible evidence to back this up, they're going to interrogate you on who this person is, what information they gave you. Of course, you're going to have to be demanded to present evidence to support it. All of that. And it can't be some mommy sleuth. If a mommy sleuth is sitting here saying, oh, yeah, I deem this to be credible because I read it 3 times, that mommy sleuth is going to be subpoenaed. That's why I said all these people behind these YouTube channels, these profiles and stuff, if you're perpetuating this nonsense, don't think you can't be named or subpoenaed. As if they can't find out who you really are. They will do that if they have to. This is absolutely ridiculous. More specifically, that the green light was given to a small team in national, Gendarmerie, am I saying that right? Intervention group. Hey, correct me if I'm wrong on that. Gendarmerie. Okay, something to that. I don't want to butcher it. I am told there is one Israeli. We're back to Jewish again. We can't even go a whole week, Candace, without you saying something about Israel or Israelis or the Israel Prime Minister or Benjamin Netanyahu. I mean, we can't even go a whole week. So I am told there is one Israeli that is on this assassination squad and the plans were formalized. How was this going to be? Was it like something by firing squad or electric chair? How do you, what? You can't make this stuff up, man. Candace, you're going way off on the deep end. Why post this up before you filed the formal complaint last year or when this CIA contractor called you? Are you serious? God. Again, this person provided concrete proof that we have not seen, that they are well placed within the French government apparatus. So she expects the FBI to release evidence related to an open murder investigation. Okay? But she won't tell us who these people are from the French government, this Israeli, no, none of that. She won't give us any concrete evidence at all on this stuff to back this up. But she's demanding that the FBI violates federal laws on providing evidence related to an investigation that they're assisting with. that's being spearheaded by prosecutors in Utah because they have jurisdiction over the matter. Candace, are you for real? Where's the evidence? The French government apparatus. Because people say this all the time. Since you want to sit here and talk about car versus vehicle, automobile, Candace, who says French government apparatus? That's not normal. See, anything you can say, we can say better and use your own words against you as well. We can do the same thing. Candace, I can do this all day. Further to this point, this person claims that Charlie Kirk's assassin trained with the French Legion 13th Brigade with multi-state involvement. What states in France, Candace? We're talking about the country of France, right? What's this multi-state? Why didn't she name that? No further details at all. Just very general, broad stuff that leaves nothing but a whole bunch of gaps and holes for the candy asses to fill in because reasons. And they can't provide evidence either. You can't make this up. Journalist Xavier Poussard's life is also at risk. This is deadly serious, because deadly serious is grammatically correct. This is serious, Candace. Period. That's it. The head of state of France apparently wants us both dead and has authorized professional units to carry this out. Where is the evidence? I ask that every person retweet and share this. Yeah, okay. Good luck to that. The entire jury is going to see this as well because all of this will be added to the lawsuit. If you tweet this out, do you understand what you're doing? You're perpetuating the lie. You can't make this up. Do you understand this will be a part of the lawsuit? Candace be so gosh, she's going to be a great actor in Hollywood. Yeah, she would have a whole lot of, fans already. Candace, go do a movie. This could be a whole movie. I wouldn't know the difference if this were a movie script or real life that I'm reading right now. This entire post is like a movie script. It's so fictional. No verifiable evidence supported. No photos of it. Candace, good grief. This is insane. Yeah, retweet this if you want to. And then your profile information shows up in a lawsuit. Yeah, good luck to that. You can't make this up. I do not know who in the American government can be trusted. Jesus. Candace, you don't know who in the American government can be trusted, but you trusted a high-ranking employee of the French government. The same government that you claim is trying to assassinate you because the Macrons are suing you for defaming them and for lying on the First Lady of France of being born a man with no scientific evidence. Yeah, that's the reason why they're going to come up with a plot to have you assassinated with no evidence. But she doesn't trust her own American government. How more unpatriotic is she going to get? This is so unpatriotic, it's not even funny. She trusts the high-ranking employee of the French government, but not the American government, the country to which she's a native citizen of. She was born here, right? Candace, were you born in the U.S.? Would it be fair if we called you an illegal alien? Candace does not belong on our planet, y'all. This girl is not of this earth. She's not of this planet. Candace, you are not of this world. You can't make this stuff up. I have never known anyone to go this far with this nonsense and be so contradictory. A high-ranking employee of the French government, never mind the CIA contractor's well-known wife, or Andrew COVID. This is insane. Oh, God. I don't know. This is insane. This is like the head start of a book or a movie. I don't know. The first line of the script. I don't know who in the American government can be trusted. Since this source claims our leaders are aware. Candace, but you're saying that the French government wants to assassinate you while you don't trust your own government to even do a complaint. She didn't trust the U.S. government to file a complaint with, but she trusts a high-ranking employee of the French government that wants to assassinate her. The hypocrisy is staggering. It's so stupid. Oh. Okay. Since this source claims our leaders are aware, the U.S. leaders, I guess. I don't know. Heads of states, who knows? Who knows what that means? The Geneva Convention. It could be anything right now. It could be a lineup of a pack of wolves or dogs. Girl. But I have more specific information, which is definitely verifiable, but she won't release the evidence. If it's verifiable, Candace, post it up. Candace Amber Owens Farmer. Post up the information. Post it. Should they care to reach out to me? No, we all want to see it. Damn it. You're going to sit here and put this up and then have people retweet it, not worried about whether or not that stuff lands in a lawsuit. But whatever. Then post up the information, girl. To the brave official in France, never mind the United States of America. Yeah, in France. The country that wants to assassinate her. Who did this because they were so moved by the evil of Charlie's public execution to risk their own life. May God bless you truly. Let all be revealed. Candace, we're still waiting. Just post it up, girl. Y'all said she posted up something new. Oh, God. I'm not verified. I'm not getting verified. Oh, this never ends. Okay, she posted this an hour ago. Is this it? If there's more, I'm just, We cannot live in a world where governments collude to protect Jeffrey Epstein and to murder Charlie Kirk. This doesn't work. We elect rulers who stay silent or choose to look the other way when children are being abused because of money or cowardice. This no longer works. Candace, what are you calling for? An uprising, a rebellion? What are we doing? Where are we going with this? The last time I read something like this, the French had a whole revolution, so did the U.S. We had an American Revolutionary War. French helped us. We've been allies with France for decades. Did Candace not know this? Centuries. We've been allies with France for centuries. Diane said many were bullied in school. Candace also so bullied and was arrested for it as juvenile record is sealed. Yeah, Candace was arrested for harassment. And then she sued a school and got, prominent black leaders involved and won a settlement. Over $35,000. MM736. Did they explain why it's disturbing? What's going on, Mira? How you doing, honey? Mr. said, yeah, that's it. No idea what she is doing. Sounds psycho. What's going on? Shout out to Wyoming Gal. My fantastic mod up in here in the LLC, along with all of my other mods. I have the best mods on YouTube, y'all. Thank you all so much for tuning in, for being all hands on deck. The bots are going crazy. They can't take it. Why would France go that far to shelter the truth of Brigitte biological sex? It makes no sense. Exactly. I wouldn't care if Brigitte Macron was born a man or she was transgender, if Emmanuel Macron was even gay. Because Candace, in your world, everything's fake and gay anyway. So why would it matter if Emmanuel Macron was actually gay? Candace believes everything is fake and gay. Or is that something that she says out of convenience? How does this go to the candy gases? Y'all believe when she says it, but in any other situation, it's like, oh no. Candace says everything is fake and gay. So why would she care if Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, was gay? Or if his wife was transgender? Why does that matter? Why does anything in France have any significance to Candace Owens? Candace, you could have done an 8-part series on the Epstein files, on possible Trump connections to the Epstein files. Why didn't you do that? How about Melania Trump? Anything in the U.S., in this country you live in. She said you worry about any of every other country. She's worried about Israel. She's worried about France, Australia. Candace, did you give back those refunds for those tickets yet? There are people who didn't get their refunds. She also owes court costs to the government of Australia for that appeal on that visa ban because they don't have to let you in their country. No one owes you that, Candace Owens. They don't have to let you in their country. Just the same way we say that here in the U.S., right? We don't have to let everybody in the U.S. They don't have to let you in their country over there in Australia. And you owe them a judgment over there for court costs, Candace. Did you pay the judgment? This is ridiculous. France is America's oldest ally. Absolutely. They helped the what was known as, a baby country when it was just 13 colonies become independent. They fought with us. And somehow our oldest ally wants to assassinate, of all people, Candace Owens because of reasons. Because she's being sued by the president and the first lady. Because she's worried about something that has no importance or value to the U.S. There's nothing that the court can do about her being 30-something and he was 15. Our U.S. courts can't punish them for that. There's no judgment that's going to be issued against them for something that happened over 30, 40 years ago. And you can't sit here and say that France should be abiding by U.S. laws. No more than we're required to uphold their law. We're not required to uphold the laws of France. We're a sovereign nation. And so are they. So why is she worried about anything going on in the country of France is beyond me. But yet, Candace, I don't hear of you donating money and supplies to Gaza or to Christians that were being murdered in Nigeria. You're not helping any of these people. You don't see her humanitarian efforts shine through anything. She just runs her mouth and collects millions of dollars in videos where bots and candy asses sit here and worship the ground she walks on. But they don't ask her, why did you file that motion to dismiss? You're talking about libel tourism. What does that have to do with you wanting to get to the discovery phase? Filing a motion to dismiss would prohibit that. You're telling the court you would rather this case be dismissed. There's going to be a hearing on this. You can't make this up. Now, I'm not saying to protect Jeffrey Epstein, any of that. They should have released the files a long time ago. But Candace, where are you going with this post? What does this have to do? How are you tying in this to Charlie Kirk's assassination? The French did not do it, and you have no evidence to prove it. You've been insinuating everyone else, and yet you've provided zero evidence to show that the French government was involved in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. That is also going to land in court with this lawsuit. It is highly defamatory, and it's just absurd. What interest would they have in one civilian in the U.S., in France? This is so ridiculous. But maybe she was just wrong about everything. Listen, when Candace did her piece on BLM with the founder misusing the money and stuff, and the BLM leader was actually indicted. A couple of them were. And they went to jail. I was like, okay, good. Because that's scamming and you're misleading the public and misappropriating funds. That's illegal. They were exactly where they need to be. But she at least did some research on that. And she put that out there, and it was based on what they actually were doing that was wrong. They were misappropriating funds. They were lying to business owners and to the community, saying, hey, we're raising this money, to help restore the community, especially from the looting and the riots and all these things, with protests and stuff related to BLM. And they turned around and bought a mansion. So the BLM founders and stuff, they're exactly where she needs to be at, in jail. I tried to even be fair with Candace in the beginning. And then when she started accusing the United States military of being involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination, and you have active duty members and veterans of the United States military sitting here wondering why they are being brought into an assassination of one civilian with no evidence on it, I said, no, I'm done. That's a mighty dumb lie to tell, to insinuate the United States military is involved. I'm sitting here like, okay, which branch? Which branch of military, Candace? Is she not aware that there's at least 4 branches of the military? Was it the Air Force, Candace? Or the Army? The Navy? Coast Guard? Which one we going with? Marines? The Green Beret? Like, how's this going to get? But it's just an insult. Our U.S. military, albeit not perfect, protect our borders and fight for us as a country. And you're insinuating the entire United States military in being involved in the death of one civilian with no evidence whatsoever. It is an insult to accuse the United States military of being involved in the death of Charlie Kirk with no proof or evidence at all. And now you're saying the French government wants to assassinate you in Tucker Carlson. But that CIA contractor and his well-known wife couldn't give you a further details, and you didn't ask any further questions. Okay. Do y'all understand it? Like the hypocrisy of this. Where's her loyalty lie? It doesn't seem to be with the United States of America. But you're sitting here talking about some high-ranking federal government employee that you vetted, but didn't put up any evidence to show proof of that. But you would rather blame the U.S. military, though, for being involved in Charlie Kirk's death. You can't make this stuff up. It's disgusting. Voice of America, Candace Nutcase Owens. You can't make this stuff up. That's exactly what she said. She insinuated the entire U.S. military. Never mind our veterans. Never mind our active duty. Never mind that. It's blood hot sex. Stacey Dash and Candace Owens deserve each other. This is what happens when that token gets spent. Yeah. So this is what Candace has said. Candy asses are more than welcome. Go back and rewatch all her episodes that I'm sure they have on auto repeat. They heard her say that again. Came out of her mouth. Absolutely pathetic. Every member of the United States military should be insulted by that. With no evidence to prove. You can't make this stuff up. It's so stupid. Brandy said at Don't Stop, my stepdaughter has it. That's the only reason I've heard of it. They said it's rare in girls, but still happens. So it's totally possible. Candace is the boy. What's going on, Lily? Candace is the boy who cried wolf. Crockett grew up rich with black privilege, went to the elite college, and she still can't pronounce the word ask. You can't make this stuff up. Oh, yeah, you're talking about Jasmine Crockett. If you close your eyes, she sounds like a crazy white right-wing psychopathic, theocratic, and strict Methodist tendencies. Connor said, listen, if Messiah wanted to get her, she'd be gone yesterday. I've seen their work pages. Oh, wow. Where are the emails? She literally received emails from military agents. Where are the emails? I want to see them. Reese. Send me the video of where she showed the emails. You guys can't, you believe whatever she says. That's on you and your brain cells. Where are the emails? Her saying she received emails is one thing, because she receives tips and she doesn't vet that either. And they're tips that are just as dumb as her saying it out loud. Where are the actual emails from the military agents? Military agents? Do you understand what you're saying? Military agents. Because we have agents in the military. Y'all. Do we have any military personnel in here? Active duty or veteran? Perhaps I'm not aware of military agents. I didn't know that was a concept. You have agents in the military. I've heard of FBI, CIA agents, but can you all, if you're in the military, if you're veterans, can you can you can you help explain this? Explain military agents, because if she said agents, I'm done. You can't make this up. Where are the emails? The emails. Exactly. She also receives supposed visits from dead people. Girl, please. Thank you, Vila. Charlie Kirk still visiting you in your sleep, Candace. You know, the Bible speaks about that being an unfamiliar spirit. I don't think that Charlie Kirk, the sea spirit, would visit you in a vision. And it goes against scripture. The Bible calls that witchcraft. Zero proof on this. Yeah, it was a demon, not Charlie. I mean, come on. Delusions of grandeur. I want that's unredacted. Unredacted emails, direct proof from the military. Because if they sent her emails on this stuff, you understand, they would have been court-martialed. We've already seen her make up text messages. Fake text messages from Charlie Kirk. If it can't be more insulting than that, I don't know. I refuse to have my intelligence insulted that bad. OSI is like a military FBI. Are you in the military? Because I'm trying to get this directly from someone in the military. Yeah, fake text messages. No date, time stamps, no nothing. Are you in the military? CR? Are you in the military? OSI? Help me understand. Why would she fake text messages? Why would she lie about someone being born a man? Why would she sit here and say this, the French government is after her and not provide evidence on that? Why does she do anything she do? Why would she throw a tantrum over a lawsuit but then say, sue me, I want subpoena power? Why would she not go to a hearing when she filed a lawsuit against an apartment community where she claimed that toxic black mold was giving her recurrent yeast infections? She said recurrent yeast infections from toxic black mold in an apartment she chose to live in for an additional 6 months and not pay rent. Why would she live somewhere and not pay rent? Why? I'm just asking. The court document said one of her medical complaints was the recurrent yeast infections from living in an apartment with black mold, toxic black mold, people. Why does she do anything she does? Oh, you know, Jesus loves the trolls as well. Candy asses, though, they hate my guts. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. She better check the company her husband keeps. Candace, I have a question, Candace. Is George Farmer gay or bisexual? I'm just asking a question. Is George Farmer gay or bisexual? Why would she not pay rent? She didn't pay rent. She's lying to cheat. I know that's a lot of liars who don't pay their bills. Candy is a pathological liar. Exactly. It's in court documents. I'm not making it up. Okay, thank you, Wyman. I didn't know the OSI was a real agency. I thought it was from the $6 million Man show. Is the OSI a real thing? I'm asking seriously. The OSI. Someone said military agents. Did you mean something else? This chat is flowing, you all. So forgive me if I'm not catching the comments in time. Is the OSI a real military agent? People fake evidence all the time. Yeah, we have. There are apps out there that allow you to help make fake text messages. No, OSI is real. What does it stand for? Can you tell me? I'm not seeing your comments. I keep telling you, but you're keep telling you, but you're not saying it or showing it. Where is it? OSI Pro Outdoor. I just said the comments are going fast, man. So OSI is a real agent in the military. Office of Special Sciences or Special Investigations. Office of Special Investigations. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. You learn something new every day. So she got emails from the Office of Special Investigations. Which branch? Was it the Army? The Navy? Marines? Each branch have their own OSI? We're talking about these emails that she got from the military, indicating the military was involved in Charlie Kirk's death. I can't. I'm in StreamYard. I would have to go into the thing with, and you know what? It's fine. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. So, were the emails from the Army, the Navy? Was it from a particular branch of the military? Yeah, I got the Eminem. Were the emails from a particular branch of the military? OSI, I'm assuming, is attached to each military branch. At least the main branches, right? Got military for the Army, the Marines, the Navy, the Air Force, and it's Coast Guard, stuff like that. Bye, Candace. Office of Special Investigation is an OSI department with each branch of military. That's what I'm asking. So the Army, I assume, has an OSI. The Marines has an OSI. The Navy has an OSI. Does that make sense? That's what I'm asking. Can anyone tell me that? Each branch of military has an OSI. Trump's the DOJ makes us all the time. He was trying to do summer counts. Yeah. Okay, yes, I'm getting it in. All right, cool. So did her email show which branch of military from the OSI sent the email? Yes, each branch, each military has their OSI. Okay, got it. Cool. So from the emails, was it the OSI from the U.S. Army, the Navy, the Marines, or the Air Force? Can anyone tell me that? Because they're saying she showed emails. So we should know. I'm asking questions to kind of dissect this. There's a specialty is defense of cybercrime. Okay, cool. Thank you for the information. Listen, I'm asking questions. We're learning here. So were the emails from the Marines, the Navy, the Army, or the Air Force? Debbie said OSI is Air Force, but other branches has an OSI, right? She has a receipt. Which branch? If she showed it, then it would have shown which branch of the military from this OSI unit sent the email. If each branch of military, if the Marines, the Navy, the Army, the Air Force have their own OSI, right? Then the email would show if it came from the Army, the Marine, the Navy, or the Air Force. Which branch of military does the email reflect? Exactly. It would say the Department of Defense and which branch. Thank you. When you all see an email from any branch of military, you will see Army dot or Marine dot or Air Force dot. That's how it would show up. I'm asking all the candy asses that was in here saying, go see the I'm not watching her episode for this because they've studied this stuff, right? We're not allowed to show actual proof when we're in investigation trails, subpoenas, etc., anything related until it's been briefed and can have open records to the proof. That's why I'm like, she's showing emails in her episodes. So the email address should have reflected whether or not it came from the Army, the Navy, the Marine, or the Air Force. She claims she's got leaks in the FBI here, people. Y'all see why I'm the queen of this? This is coming from someone that didn't pay rent for 6 months, saying that she had recurring yeast infections because of black mold. You can't make this up. So were the emails from the Army, Navy, Marine, or Air Force? Which branch did the emails come from? I'm just asking here. We're just asking questions. The Navy is NCIS, correct. So the candy ass has told me that emails are on her video in her episodes, and she showed the emails. So what I'm posing to them is, which branch of military was reflected in the email address? Because each branch of military has an OSI or something related to that, right? Y'all see how we have to break it down? There's also a Space Force branch. Yeah, Trump gave us Space Force. All those recurrent yeast infections, boy, it got out of control. It just went to Candace's head. You can't make this out. If you tell me which video, I will go and look right this minute. Exactly. Can one of you all tell us which episode where Candace Owens showed the emails from the OSI agents? No reply is willing to go look at it right now, so we can confirm which branch of military sent Candace Owens these emails implicating themselves in the death of Charlie Kirk. Because we're trying to break this down. If it was Space Force, let me know. Space Force. Give me the episode number. Can y'all tell me the episode? You can't make this stuff up. Oh Lord, hold on. Let me go to her channel. Yeah, the candy ass is making me do it. I'm not watching her videos. Y'all can have that, but I'll go to the channel. Let's see what she got. Oh, y'all, this is too good. Cause they want me to look so bad. They either go to her channel, go to her, look at her videos. I'm asking them specific questions about the emails, and they're not telling me anything. So let's go. Let's see which episode it is. God help us all. All right. Maybe they'll tell me. Maybe y'all will tell me which episode it is. Please tell me which episode it is. I'm gonna keep cackling. All right. Tell me which branch of military sent her the email. Which episode? Come on, Charles. Tell me something. Tell me something good. Tell me something good. Oh, Lord. Candace's yeast infection has got to be burning right now. It's got to be burning. That's why Candace is out for a week. That's my theory. Candace, I'm theorizing. This is how we do it here. I theorize Candace is out for a week because that yeast infection just got out of control the last time and she couldn't handle it. You can't make this up. You can't make this stuff up. I need the episode. Which episode did Candace say she got emails from a branch of military OSI unit or something related, something specific to that? Tell me the episode. Give me the episode. Probably wasn't a branch of France's military. I'm guessing her husband's lover talk. Oh, you're on point with the comments. Oh, that was good, Bella. Oh, that was good. Air Force is the only one who has the OSI. The others use different initials. So I'm trying to see. I want the candy asses to tell me which episode. Just tell me the episode. You see here still saying all this nonsense. Give me the episode. Candace Owens sued her landlord in 2016 over a mold issue. Yes, she did. And it claimed that it was giving her recurrent yeast infections. Can you believe it? Oh, and that she had to have LASIK surgery. I'm trying to find the episode. We still live? Yeah, we still live. Care Bears. I'm late. Yeah, welcome in. Can anyone tell me? I want to get the candy asses telling me it was in the videos. I'm waiting on the episode number. Oh no, they're leaving. Oh God. Yeah, she pulls 500,000 people. You only got 7. I don't care. I'm looking up facts about what branch, which branch of military sent her an email saying, "Yeah, we did it. We assassinated Charlie Kirk." Like, which branch of military admitted to that? Come on now. She sued her high school. She sued USA Today. She sued Kimberly Classic. Well, Kimberly Classic tried to sue her. I'm just waiting. Y'all, she was getting yeast infections from the black mold. That's what the lawsuit said. Oh, y'all, I got supers. Look at this. Look at God. Thank you, Pat Brooks. I don't believe her. Brandon T is an idiot if he does. And so strange he can call out other people but not mention Candace Owens is the biggest vile narcissistic lying conspiracy theorist on earth. Shaking my head. Shout out to you. Oh man. Pat Brooks sent another 1999 super. Shout out to you. Thank you so much, Lady Luck. Can the hit job stunt be used in the McCrone's case? Love your channel. Yes, they can actually add in her putting up this post because it's adding to the defamation, right? She's saying the French government, to which Macron's is president of, Emmanuel Macron is the president of, put a hit out on her with no evidence. She would have to prove that because now you're insinuating that they're involved in a murder scheme or a murder plot or a plot to assassinate, along with Charlie Kirk's death. Accusing anybody of committing a heinous crime is defamatory when you don't have the evidence. You're making provable false statements, Candace. That's what defamation is legally defined to be. Provable false statements with a reckless disregard for the truth. So, because you have to meet the malice intent criteria because they're, public figures and elected officials and all. Candace Owens is too. She admitted that herself in the lawsuit against USA Today. She called herself a public figure. So if she sues someone, she has to meet that malice intent as well. That's why she lost. One of the reasons why she lost the case with USA Today. She failed to state a claim. She failed to meet the malice intent criteria. And a couple other things that was noted in the lawsuit. We went over it. She would have to definitely show evidence of this. And they could definitely add this into the lawsuit to say, Yana, this girl just won't stop. Judge Rennie is presiding over the case. She's sitting here still saying we're doing things that we're not doing. And it's causing damage to our country now, to the reputation and the image of our nation. By insinuating the French government not only aided in the assassination of Charlie Kirk, an American citizen, but plotted to assassinate her. All because she's being sued. Candace, you want to be sued. You said, sue me. I want subpoena power, remember? Candace asked for these lawsuits. Candace, don't get mad when you get what you asked for. Wish granted. Since we're coming up to Christmas. She put it on her Christmas list. What do I want from Santa? My motion to dismiss to be granted. And for me not to get yeast infections anymore. It's probably on her two top things on her Christmas list. Let that motion to dismiss be granted. And to stop having these recurrent yeast infections. Oh, the candy ass is kiss my ass. Yeah. This is what she said. You can't make this up. Thank you so much, Pat Brooks. I appreciate you. And I appreciate your support. That is fantastic. I appreciate you. Care Bear sent the 199 super. Shout out to you. All hearts. Love you back, honey. You can't make this stuff up. We're just having a good time right here. Did she get what she asked for? Who knows? Chantel, Egypt playing FBI, CIA, Trump, military, France. Oh my God. Yeah, Pro Outdoor said her symptoms include wheezing and inability to think clearly, scars requiring laser removal, eczema, and systemic. Yeah. Shout out to Pro Outdoors from literally putting in what was in the lawsuit. Yeah, that is exactly how it's stated in the lawsuit. Those are her symptoms for living with black mold for 6 months. You can't make this up. She said she had to have LASIK surgery. Oh my God, we're talking about Candace and her nonsense with this post. It started with that anyway. We started with the post about Candace saying that the French government is trying to assassinate her. Now we're talking about her lawsuit she filed against a apartment complex where she claimed that she had exposure to toxic black mold and it led to all these symptoms that Pro Outdoors so eloquently posted up here. Her symptoms included wheezing and inability to think. At least the scars requiring laser removal. That was in the lawsuit. I think the inability to think clearly was that? She really said that. Oh my God. Scars requiring LASIK removal. That was in the lawsuit. Eczema was in the lawsuit. Systemic yeast infections was in the lawsuit. These were her symptoms from exposure to black mold in an apartment she chose to live in for 6 months without paying rent. You can't make this up. It's all pretty much valid. Oh man. All right, so no reply. It seems like we're not gonna get the episode unless I miss it. I don't see the actual George only enjoys boys. Y'all, on Candace Owens' Christmas list, it's gonna be first thing. Let her motion to dismiss be granted because she really doesn't want to go through this litigation with the Macrons. And the second thing is, can we please create some stronger monostat for these yeast infections? It's gonna be those two things. Candace, you're like a walking punchline. It's not bullying. That's what she said in the lawsuit. I'm just laughing at it. She said that in the lawsuit. Go look it up. I encourage you to look up the lawsuit where she did not show up for court. She didn't show up for court. She didn't even show up for court. I didn't see, just like Candy has asked for proof and they go proof. They go poof. Exactly. Oh man, you can't make this stuff up. What's going on, Truth Is? How you doing? Yeah, I didn't see the episode either. So let's get to the court docket, y'all. Because Candace, I told you who was gonna do it, girl. All of this. Yeah, all of this, Candace, you brought this on yourself. You wanted to be sued. You got the lawsuit you wanted. you showboated it on on your channel, and now you want to sit here and be mad because they actually sued you. Oh, hold on. I'm missing the C. I'm trying to put in the case number. They actually sued you, and now you want out. You want to say they trying to kill you. Girl, please. You can't make this stuff up. All right, y'all. Here's the docket. So, case ID number N as in Nancy 25 C as in Candace -07-194. Emmanuel Macron versus Candace Owens et al. We're looking at. Hold on a second. Let me put this down. All right. It is. That's what the court documents say. I went over the whole court case. They were granted default judgment, and she owed them almost $19,000. So they were granted a default judgment. She failed to go to court. It actually says in the court dockets, failure to appear. So she lost. Bullying. You can't be calling me bullying because I'm laughing at the lawsuit where she claimed she had recurrent yeast infections from exposure to black mold. And then she didn't even show up for court. Did her attorney quit? She hired the wrong type of attorney. So initially she hired a personal injury attorney when she should have hired an attorney that, of course, specialized in tenant landlord relations, evictions, and stuff like that. So I guess her is opposed to her getting the right type of attorney to represent her. She just didn't show up for court. And so she lost. She lost through the default judgment. The end. Oh no, Jeff. Oh no. We're still waiting on this episode so we can see what email Candace showed from some branch of military with their special investigations that they told on themselves and insinuated themselves into Charlie Kirk's assassination. Can you give us the episode number while you enjoy my fake laugh? Y'all ain't copy and pasting. Oh, dear Lord. Oh, bless their heart. Who in the hell hires an injury lawyer for a civil case? Oh my gosh, she's so stupid. Exactly. So you can't make it up. She doesn't show up. You would think she would go to court and defend herself. Oh my God. Brought outdoors, this is part of the evidence she showed. Exactly. Don't forget the bees, the communist bees and all. Y'all. All right, let's get down to the court docket. Shout out to No Reply for sending information up to the attorneys that, they had been outed. Because y'all see the addresses here for the attorney for defendant, Candace being the defendant, for each of the attorneys. They're all in this building. That 1 Rodney Square, 920 North King Street. Because Candace doesn't vet her tips. So she has no idea when she's being trolled. Okay? So if we go down, this is for her attorneys. They work in that building. It's my understanding, No Reply confirmed it was what? They take up 8 floors in the building. And they sent that classified leaked information through their official government email channel, not some Signal app or Telegram. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If she showed an email, because I really wanted, I wanted the candy asses to help me resolve this whole debacle about her showing evidence, email evidence, that the military sent her an email saying that the U.S. military was involved in the death of Charlie Kirk. I asked about which branch of military. We confirmed that each military branch have their own special investigations unit. Some may be called OSI. I think one of y'all said the Navy has an NCIS. Air Force has OSI. May be called something else with the Army and something else with the Marines. My question is, which branch of military sent the email that Candace Owens showed in her episode? And none of the candy asses provided a response. Then I asked, okay, let me go to her channel. Which episode did she show the emails? None of the candy asses told us which episode. No Reply here said, I will look at it right now. Give us the episode number. They didn't say anything. They said my laugh is fake. I want the episode number. Can we prove that one point? Can't make this sound. I'm saying, what is the actual the episode where the emails are shown? We're still waiting on that. Oh man, we're waiting. No Reply. We're waiting. I only know because I'm a fan of the show. Only man's beehives was stolen. I pleaded to the public to return them. Someone did. Don't Stop said she threw her attorneys under the bus by putting their address out there so her followers would shame and harass them. Exactly. Because they don't care who they cyberbully and harass, right? And dox. She didn't care. Like, Candace, this is why you need to learn how to vet your tips. You're bad at this, Candace. Candace Owens is bad at this, what she calls journalism or reporting. She is awful at this. This is why you have to learn how to vet your tips, Candace. Because you didn't even read the letter to see that your attorney's address was in the letter. You're being trolled in your own tip line and you don't know it. You can't make this up. I assume I'm being trolled when I read an email. I'm be honest. Whenever I get an email, especially with the channel growing, I bless God for it. I just assume I'm being trolled. And then I go from there. She thinks every tip coming in is some honest tip with real evidence and information that can be proven and substantiated and corroborated with documentation. She doesn't. It's like if it's coming through my tip line, it's okay. No, it's trolling you. I'm only a Googler and only show French military has OIS in Air Force. That's why I was like, what episode? They said she showed emails. I'm still waiting on the emails. Because that email address would include that branch of military. It would say army.mil or Air Force. It would have the actual branch in the email address. This is why I broke down the questions, because I know the candy asses, boy, they got you got the, oh man. I'm not trying to convince them of anything. I don't want, whether they change their mind or not is not my goal. My goal is to put out the information, they do what they want from there. But when it comes to asking questions, you got to break it down like a fraction. It's almost like saying gaga goo goo, baba binky. Like you have to speak simple terms to them. Please just give me the episode number, and me and the Lucksters will look at that episode to see the emails that she posted up that is evidence to show that any branch of military emailed Candace from a legitimate email address affiliated with the military in the United States of America and said they aided in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I want to see those emails. All I'm saying is, on behalf for our U.S. military active duty members, veterans, just give us the number of the episode where she showed those emails. That's all I'm saying. Just give it to us. She's bad at this. Oh my God. You can't make this up. Yes, we're asking for the episode number. I sent her such a tip. You can't make this up. I just want to know the episode number. Y'all just tell me. Dear God, just give us the episode number. But she has the from redacted. Of course she would. You know what's so crazy, Candace? Why would you redact the entire email address and not just the person's name? But at least show, okay, y'all, this is a legitimate email address from the Army, from their Special Investigations Unit, because it'll say army.mil.gov in the end. Something to that extent. It will literally have the actual branch of military included in the email address. You don't have to show their name. You can redact the name, but keep the rest of the email address available. That way we know it's for real. We know it's legitimate. I just want to know the number of the episode. Thank you, Mila. That warms my heart. I am the queen of this. But I just want to know which episode she showed those email addresses. Dear Lord. All right, y'all, let's get to this. Oh man, you can't get this. Boy, this is just too funny to me. All the candy asses left. Y'all was like 500-600 people in here. It's half of them candy asses in the box. They gone. They was like, you know what? Screw Lady Luck. We're going to bed. they got the hell off. Where the candy asses go? Come on, y'all. Throw your hands in the air if you still a candy ass player. I mean, come on. Okay, let's get going. What y'all? Yeah, I've been laughing for 45 minutes. I promise. All right, so if you guys see, I'm scrolling down each activity that has been logged into the docket. You guys see we've gone over the entire court docket in the activity. Every time something's posted up, we go over it, right? Let's see here. So here's the last entry that was done. So if they have any, let's say the attorneys decide to withdraw because they're not in the mood for the candy asses and the bots to come harass them. You go doxing their home addresses and phone numbers and nonsense. Then it will be docketed once it's filed and stamped with the clerk of court. So when you submit your motion of pleading to the court, whatever you're submitting, letter, judicial review, notice, anything, it takes sometimes 2 to 3 days, business days, for the clerk of the court to file and stamp it into the case. So let's say something was done Friday, close to 5 p.m. It may not show up today. It might show up tomorrow. Who knows? But it will be posted up as an activity on the docket. So the last thing that's here, no reply. We're going to be keeping an eye out for it. I'll check it again tomorrow. If they do decide to withdraw, that will be docketed and it will be notated as an entry with the date and time stamp, just as you all see here. And it will say who it's from. So if it's her attorneys will be listed here like so. This is the motion to dismiss that she filed again, along with the motion to strike the first amended complaint. The Candy asses never talk about this. Why don't you all talk about her wanting to have this thing dismissed and the actual amended complaint stricken? It's like they don't even want to acknowledge it. This is a part of your reality. Hey, Jay Witt. Oh, my brother is here. Are you here? Yes, he is. How you doing? Oh, shout out to Jay Witt, my brother in Christ. He's also a mod. Fantastic mod here. I told you I have the best mods on YouTube. I love you guys. Shout out to Jay Witt. Can I get Jay Witt, you can put your YouTube channel link in the chat. Go ahead and drop it there. Your mod. Just drop your YouTube channel link in the chat for me. The course are always a day behind. Yeah, sometimes more. Exactly. So we're thinking of in terms of business days, guys. So it may be 2 to 3 business days. So Friday, of course, business day. Today will be day number 2. Tomorrow will be day number 3. And it just depends too, because this week is Thanksgiving. So you got a holiday coming up. So if we have any updates, it will be this week and it'll be filed and stamped. Okay. So we'll give it a couple extra days and we will check out and look out for it. Shout out to Jay Witt. Shout out to all my moms. Shout out to Jay Witt. All the fantastic content creators here. Jay Witt is on her butt. Listen, Jay Witt, I saw your post, man. I even commented on it. Somebody's wanting to shut down Jay Witt's channel. Well, why go through all that? Like, we don't have freedom of speech here. Candace has free speech and we don't. You actually have candy asses and bots trying to shut down people's channels because reasons. You understand YouTube guidelines might not allow that to happen. Oh, man. Y'all hit the like button and drop some green hearts in the chat for Jay Witt, my brother in Christ. Oh, man. See, we're going over Candace's post about her thinking that the French government is trying to put out a hit on her because she doesn't want to face. This is the reality you're facing, Candace. It's this lawsuit. Because, she keeps saying, well, they're trying to bankrupt me. They don't want me to have free speech. Girl, she has blamed any and everything on this lawsuit. Remember when you said, Candace, you were born a man, you would die a man? Yeah, okay. So they said, all right, cool. We'll take you to court for it. You say you stake your entire professional career on this. Not that you have any professional career, but whatever. They said, okay, let's see how that goes. Candace, if you feel like you're not lying and you have evidence, why would you do half of the things you're doing on YouTube? YouTube is not court, and court is not YouTube. You can't go to court acting like you're, on your YouTube channel, on your podcast, or in your book club, Candace. Get in there and get ratchet if you want to, girl. Please let that happen. Because I'm going to be tuning in to the hearings if it goes there. Oh, yeah, I will be, if it's a virtual hearing link, I will be listening into those hearings and then reporting every little thing that happens. I sure will. Candace, you can't run from this. You want to be sued. You think you have subpoena power. Just go to court and find out. You F around, you find out. That's how that works. Yeah, that's how that works. So, this is what she's running from. She's running from this lawsuit. Now the French government's trying to assassinate her. Girl, Candace, bye. Bye, Felicia. You can't make this up. You cannot make this stuff up. All right, so let's get back to this. We're going to end this on a funny note. Y'all hear Ami? Ami did a new video, y'all, and I'm ready for it. So check out Ami Kozak. Check out Jay Witt, my brother in Christ. Ami is so funny. He did a new video 2 days ago, and I meant to play this yesterday, and I didn't get the chance to do it. He actually has another video there. Candace Owens exposes Candace Owens, but we'll do that in the next live. Because that's a 7-minute video, and I really want to take my time and enjoy this. So, shout out to Ami. Y'all, we're gonna end this on a comical note because I love to laugh. I love to present evidence and facts, documentation, articles, court docket activity, definitions of terms. I even ask questions, so you guys can be engaged. We found out what OSI means. Each branch of military has its own special investigations unit. We're still waiting on the episode number from the candy asses so we can see these emails from some branch of military that sent Candace Owens email saying, yeah, we did it. We're waiting for it, Candace. Gary, we're waiting. Until then, we're going to enjoy some Ami. Shout out to all of you all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Hit the like button. And we're going to conclude on this. Let's get some laughter. Y'all ready? Put a 1 in the chat if you can see it here. Put a red heart in the chat once you've hit that like button because I'm not playing. Let's go.
All right, you guys. So as the plot thickens on this story, we continue to unravel and expose the truth about what happened on that day in Utah. Still more suspicious activities, as we've been telling you with every episode. We continue to uncover just insane coincidences. We have now multiple Egyptian planes that were flying that day. We don't know why they were flying. We don't know what they were doing. I didn't even know Egypt had planes, but apparently they do. They have several planes that were flying that day. If you look back at history, if you look at it, because I look at history, I take history, and then I look at it, and I always look at it, you come to an interesting story that has to do with a certain people in the land of Egypt many, many years ago. These were Jewish people. Back then, they were called the Hebrews. And they were in ancient Egypt. Fast forward to today, quite mysteriously, you have 12.
It's not just him saying, it's his mannerisms. Y'all just not taking history. I look at history.
Take history, and then I look at it, and I always look at it. You come to an interesting story that has to do with a certain people in the land of Egypt many, many years ago. These were Jewish people. Back then, they were called the Hebrews, and they were in ancient Egypt. Fast forward to today, quite mysteriously, you have 12 Israeli cell phone signals detected at Utah Valley University on the day Charlie was killed. Coincidence? Is there a connection? I don't know. Could be. We're not supposed to talk about it. We're not supposed to ask questions. But if you look back in history and you study what happened with the Hebrews, what exactly happened with the Hebrews, with the Jews, with Jewish people in ancient Egypt, where did they go? Well, they vanished. Just like these Egyptian planes somehow vanished.
Wait! He said, well, they vanished. Y'all, look at his face. This happening. Oh, that freeze frame is adorable. Oh, Ami.
In history, and you study what happened with the Hebrews, what exactly happened with the Hebrews, with the Jews, with Jewish people in ancient Egypt, where did they go? Well, they vanished. Just like these Egyptian planes somehow vanished off the radar. The Hebrews went off the radar, and they stumbled into a land, which is today modern-ish. Wait. So that would mean, I just find that interesting. I guess the land back then was, what was it called? I just find that interesting. More on that later.
Was this supposed to be her talking to George on the side or something? Oh, the person in her ear. Got it. The mansplainer. That's what she calls it. Whoever's talking to her ear is like the mansplainer. He mansplains things. You can't.
Interesting. I guess the land back then was, what was it called? I just find that interesting. More on that later. If you dig deeper into the story, you find, that there's this show that people were watching for years, White Lotus. I never heard of White Lotus. I was asking myself, what does this mean? What does White Lotus have to do with this? If you dig deeper, you find that the show White Lotus, was created by Mike White, who coincidentally also created the movie School of Rock, starring Jack Black. I just find that interesting. Mike White, Jack Black. You look further into Jack Black's history and you find that his mother was Rachel Siegel, She was born Jewish to a family from Poland and Russia, and his father converted to Judaism and is of German, English, Irish, and Scottish descent.
Yeah, this is so. She seems like she's making it up as she goes along. You can't make this up. Candace, you actually probably would do better in entertainment. Okay, just go be an actress, girl.
Judaism and is of German, English, Irish, and Scottish descent.
Oh, this is good.
Top of the morning to you, laddie. Black was raised Jewish, attending Hebrew school and having a bar mitzvah. Fast forward years later, Jack Black goes on to play Po in the movie Kung Fu Panda, which takes place in ancient China. There were ancient rituals performed in China that tie back into White Lotus. And so the creator of White Lotus also created School of Rock, starring Jack Black, whose father converted to Judaism. Who knows if he was pressured? I don't know if he made that decision on his own accord. He could have been pressured. Likely he was pressured by the Zionists.
Uh-oh.
Something doesn't smell right. Something doesn't feel right. Jack Black, White Lotus, Kung Fu Panda, Utah Valley, Egyptian plains, Hebrew slaves, ancient Egypt, Passover, and some Christians were going missing on Passover. I'm sorry, you guys. Do you not see it? Can you not see it? It's so obvious. It's so obvious they think we're crazy. They think we're stupid. Likely he was pressured by the Zionists. Something doesn't smell right. Something doesn't feel right. Jack Black, White Lotus, Kung Fu Panda, Utah Valley, Egyptian plains, Hebrew slaves, ancient Egypt, Passover, and some Christians were going missing on Passover. I'm sorry, you guys. Do you not see it? Can you not see it? It's so obvious. It's so obvious they think we're crazy. They think we're stupid. They think we're stupid. Jack Black, Tenacious D. It's interesting. I just find that interesting, Tenacious D, because tying it in to Brigitte Macron and the story we didn't want to talk about, they didn't want us to talk about becoming Brigitte, who also was born with a Tenacious D. Tune in next week when we uncover that the actual murder weapon in Charlie Kirk's assassination may have been Brigitte Macron's penis.
I mean, oh God. Wait a minute. Go back. Oh, I'm enjoying the mess out of this video.
Also was born with a Tenacious D. Tune in next week when we uncover that the actual murder weapon in Charlie Kirk's assassination may have been Brigitte Macron's penis. I don't know, but I know, you know? Thanks for watching, you guys. The School of Rock! All right, you guys.
Yeah, that's oh, my stomach hurt. Oh, dear Lord, y'all, I'm trying to breathe. Oh, man. Oh, the Tenacious D. Oh, my God. Oh, man, that's so funny. Oh, good God. Y'all put Ami in the chat. Flood the chat with Ami. Ami. Oh, Ami, we love you. The Tenacious D. Y'all, who knew? The secret weapon all along was that Tenacious D. Ami in the chat. Flood the chat with Ami. Oh, man. Y'all, it's something about that Tenacious D. I don't think George Farmer has Tenacious D. Candace, if George had that Tenacious D, you would make him a sandwich, girl. I forget the sandwich. I'm making him an 8-course meal. Okay, y'all. I'm done being nasty. Okay. What y'all? That was too funny. Okay. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh my God. Oh, that was funny. Y'all, I enjoyed that. I hope you all enjoyed that. We all needed that laugh. It wasn't Tupac this time. It wasn't Tupac. Y'all, that Tenacious D gets a lot of people in trouble, boy. Oh, Jesus. All right. We're good. Y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in. We're going to go live again tomorrow. You can't make this stuff up. Oh, my goodness. We'll do a throwback. Because, Candace, I'm going to keep throwing up this. They're going to lawsuit in your face. You know, because that Tenacious D and all of something else. Oh, good God. You can't make this. That explains her being hypnotized to this. Yeah. Oh, good grief. All right, yeah. So tune in tomorrow. We're gonna have a live with Umar, and we're gonna have a live with a throwback from Candace, her talking about, you know, this case and all. So we could just at least have that episode. And if the candy asses still want to send me the episode number, just email it to me and put it in the comment section so we can look at it. Y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Hit the like button. I appreciate all of you all. Shout out to my mods. Thank you all so much for holding it down, being hands on deck. Shout out to Jay Witt and all the great content creators out there that are doing their thing. Army, we love you. You guys take care. And until the next one, Lady Luck Club out. Deuces.